watching the Vodka stream.
Boop! What is happening, everybody? It is Friday, and yes, if you guys have noticed, I am not in my Vodka Stream lounge tonight. Why? Laziness. Pure and simple laziness. I tell you what. It just, like I said, I've been telling you guys, I'm getting my ass kicked at work a little bit, so today was just kind of an ass kicker too. And literally when I got done with work, which was later than usual, I ran my errands, got my booze, got some food, did all that, set everything, got everything going, and then took a nap. And then I was just like, you know what? Not really feeling like setting up the lounge tonight. So don't worry. It's not like it's going away. I just felt like I'm just going to be a little bit cozier today. That's all. It's going to be a little cozy on my desk right here. Anyways, what's going on? Hey, we got Stephanie here. It said what? 3 a.m. That's when the stream's going to end. Yeah. Screw the Giants. Well, they're winning right now, so that's good. I think I was just watching the game right now too. And I don't know if it's over yet. No, it's not over yet, but 7-2. Yeah, because they're in the top of the ninth. Of course, not over. What's going on, Ryan? How you doing? Got Eric here. I got Mama Film Junkie here. Hello. It's Stephanie with an F, Mom. An F, not PH. F. Lane, what's up, sir? Hey, 30-year anniversary of Nevermind, right? You see that thing? You see that video I retweeted? Showing like 1,000 musicians playing Smells Like Teen Spirit. Freaking awesome. What's going on? We got Beer Jason here. What's up, buddy? We got Josh. How you doing? Cheers. I'm doing pretty good, actually. Doing pretty good. Like I said, just been getting my ass kicked at work, and you could tell I'm stressed because I still have this pimple on my freaking nose. God damn it. You could tell. So, go Dodgers. Yeah, you guys, you got lucky last night, right? Freaking Giants losing to the Padres. Can't believe that. But at least they're handing it to the Rockies right now. But I don't think the Diamondbacks are going to be helping the Giants out at all. So, what's going on, Buck? How you doing? Who else is there? Yep, there you go. Hi. Carrie, we got Carrie right here. Boop, boop. Yeah, how's it going, Mr. Callie? How you doing? Have you ever seen that movie? Which movie? Oh, Pandorum. Yeah, that's that space movie. I want to say Dennis Quaid. Is it Dennis Quaid in that movie? I think I'm watching I think that's a space movie, right? I think no, you're talking about. I'm not too sure. The Buck is here. You and your Garza's right. How dare you, Chuck? How's it going? I'm starting to get hyped for Matt Reeves, the Batman. Yes, that's what it's. You should be, because it's looking like it's gonna be pretty good. Still got 2 more. I'm doing pretty good. Not too shabby. Got Legend here. Yender. Mr. Pena. Another Pena. What's up? We got another Pena in here. That's right. We're all up Pena in here. Yes. Okay. I thought it was the one. I saw it a long time ago. Can't remember shit, but I remember watching that. I remember putting it on a while ago, and I think I remember enjoying it. So yeah. But anyways, guys, appreciate it. Like I said, it's going to be just a pure panel tonight again. Didn't lock down a guest. Just happens. Sometimes you just do that. But hey, that doesn't mean the Vodka stream would stop. But I like just the full panel discussions too, because there's stuff to discuss, and you never know who's going to roll up in here. So anyways, guys, got the vodka here. Look at that, nice and chilled. Got the Reka. Never had this. This is from Iceland. Small batch vodka, handcrafted in Iceland. That's right. Glacial spring water, distilled with renewable energy, lava rock filtration, crafted in Barganas, Iceland. So there you go. See what this stuff tastes like. I'm guessing it's going to taste like vodka. Here you go. Have a little pour right there, guys. Cheers. Finally, this week's over. This week's over, so cheers. TGI freaking F. I like it. I like it. And just to add some more vodka, I'm also been drinking the a Cutwater vodka soda, cucumber. It's actually very refreshing. Very refreshing. I saw it on there. I was like, you know what? Double the vodka since, why not? Double the vodka. But before I start bringing some people on, let me show you guys. Got some new toys. Got some new figurines and stuff. Look what I got. Da-da-da-da. Got my dark side. Got my dark side pop today. Of course, the Uxis one, I guess you could say. So got that guy in today. And not only did I get that, I also got the throne dark side today as well. So also got this guy. And then earlier this week, I got the White Knight Joker and Batman. Pretty awesome stuff. I love the fact that he's actually holding a Batman pop, and then of course wearing a Batman shirt. So I got the White Knight little pair right there, and then of course the spiky motherfucker. Look at this guy. This guy's a beast. Look at this thing. This was probably, what's funny is like usually the McFarlane figurines are hard to get out of the box. For some reason, the Steppenwolf one was very easy to get out of the box. I don't know why. It just felt like it was easy, very easy. So got my Steppenwolf right here. Man, this thing is like, when I pull it out, I mean, the detail of this guy, the detail for sure. And then, of course, got this guy as well. The McFarlane non-armored Uxas, your ass, my ass, whatever you want to call them. But so got those guys today. So it's been a pretty good week when it comes to getting the collectibles. I'm running out of space. That was another reason why my pub table is like covered with pops and figurines, and that was another reason why I was like, you know what, I don't even feel like rearranging or anything like that. I tell you, I was like, I'm not really feeling it, but it's all good. Yeah, God, it's all good. And then, of course, guys, wearing the Vodka Stream shirt, as you can see, logo there, boobies, logo, boobies, logo. If you want to get yourself a new Vodka Stream shirt, you can get that in the closet down below. Make sure you smash that like, thumbs up, subscribe, do all that. Spending money on toys, yeah, I know, right? And you know what I just found out? I found out today, for some reason, I thought the McFarlane toy line had a Justice League Wonder Woman. Turns out they don't. They only have the Wonder Woman 84. So this whole time, every time I went to Target and they were overloaded with Wonder Woman 84 toys or figurines, I should have just picked one up because that's all you get. You don't have a JL McFarlane, man. So that was lame. I just found out that today. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, what the hell, man? Because that's the only one. That's who I have left when it comes to McFarlane's. I mean, yeah, I can get Cowless Batman. They also got Cowless Batman and Goggleless Batman. The Goggleless Batman, though, I will not take out of the box because that's a rare Batman. That's a rare one, apparently. So, but yeah, so maybe I'll get the Cowless one. But so I don't know. Don't encourage me, Darkseid. It's feeling cute. He might claim all access. Yeah. No, but I was like, you got to be kidding me. They didn't make an actual one. That's disappointing. That's extremely disappointing. I was disappointed in that. I was like, come on, man. All right, so let me go ahead. I've got somebody already backstage. Bring him in. Let me set the tweet. There we go. Join the stream. Oops. Why did you do? There we go. Sorry. Setting up the tweet here. All right. It's been a little bit since this gentleman show has been on the Vodka stream, but welcome, Justin the Midside. What is up, sir?
Hey, how's it going? It's true. I do still exist, even though I'm not on Twitter much anymore. I do still exist.
That's probably a good thing, right?
Yeah, I mean,
It's
I found it to be a lot better. So
yeah. How you been, man?
I'm good. I'm just, busy right now. School year
Yeah.
going on, coaching, got a wedding coming up. So just a lot of busyness. So that's why I haven't been on Twitter as much. Also, I don't know, I found that there isn't as much interesting stuff to talk about anymore. Um,
Makes sense.
because I don't know, I found like the conversation has died around the topics I talk about for specific reasons. So, just been hanging out in the real world.
There you go. That's what you're doing. You're unplugged from the Matrix, man. Jeez, get out of there. By the way, did you see the Matrix trilogy? Or not the trilogy, the trailer?
Yeah, I found it interesting. I'm interested to see where they go with it.
Uh-huh.
And maybe I'm just jaded because it's been, forever since the original, but I don't know. It just didn't make me think it was as original as the original, Matrix trilogy.
Yeah.
When I was looking at that where they touched hands and they had memories of each other, that reminded me of season 6 of Lost. And then the song was straight out of Sucker Punch. And obviously,
Yep.
Sucker Punch is influenced by the Matrix. But it's just sort of like if you're going to come out all this time later with your continuation, you would want to make sure it's equally as revolutionary as the original films. So
Yeah.
I'm going to see
That's
it,
gonna be-
obviously, because I want to know what
Yeah.
they're going to do. But
It's gonna be difficult. I mean, there's no. I mean, I watched it last weekend, I believe. Yeah, I watched it last weekend. Put the original on, and then I watched Reloaded after that. And I don't care what anybody says. I love Reloaded still. Yes, it's got its issues, but still, I think it's. I still think it's fantastic. But that first Matrix, yeah, every time I watch it, I always just kind of go like, damn, this really did change things. And I don't know how. I mean, I don't know how the newest one is. I mean, I'm intrigued by it big time. I'm excited for it, but I don't see how it could just. It's not gonna. I can't see it changing cinema again like the first one did. That's the feat. I mean, that's what I always wonder. But then again, you just never know because I mean, how many times has James Cameron done that? Where he just changes the game and all of a sudden it's like, oh, and then he hasn't done a movie in forever, and now he's got apparently 4 freaking Avatar sequels coming out. It's like, what do you? How is that going to even go?
right, and that's the same question, right? It's the same question is the original Avatar was technologically so far advanced that how are they going to continue to do that with these 4 movies that are going to come? And Disney's made such an investment in them, right? Animal Kingdom is built around basically that property now, and they have all these movies coming out. So how are they going to do with that? So some interesting times coming up.
It really is. I mean, but hey, I'm all for it. I'm all for seeing if they're gonna try. Like, I think if anybody can change the game up, it's gonna be James Cameron. I just kind of because we kind of talked about it last week because we got the Christopher Nolan thing and how he basically was like, hey, this is what I want. Who's gonna give it to me? And Universal decided, okay, we'll give that to you. So, but then of course there's that debate which we had, and it got pretty intense, which was pretty cool. I liked it. It's still friendly, but it's just a fact of streaming and theatrical experience. And I think Steven brought up a good point about how the first Avatar was really a theatrical experience. Like, I'm not a 3D guy. I don't like going to see 3D movies, especially since I got freaking glasses and I got to put the 3D glasses over my glasses. Kind of a pain in the ass. But I remember watching that movie and just being, I mean, me and my friends just walking out, just being in awe. That was definitely an experience. But I mean, it's not like Christopher Nolan's going to do that. But he does still try to, I mean, even with Dunkirk, I would even say, I remember going to that. I mean, they always talk about his sound and how it could be too loud, but I think that's what he tries to give. I don't know if it translates with a lot of people, but I thought it translated very well with Dunkirk because I think the explosions and some of the fire, like the firing back and forth, just was so loud. But it's like, well, maybe that's what it kind of sounded like, and he's trying to grasp that and trying to give you that experience. I don't know. There's just, I mean, movie theaters just have to be really an experience now as a for most people. Maybe not like somebody like me, I'll just go wherever. I'll go to the $5 fucking theater. I don't care. But I mean, I've talked about it with Scott. I mean, if he has date night with his wife, it's a whole night. You're going to go to a theater. You're going to go to a place that has luxury seating, food, booze, it's going to be a whole thing. So, it's just the way it's got to be now.
Yeah, well, we have the AMC passes, the AMC, what is it, A-list. So we pay like the 22 a month, and we go to the movies once a week. And the AMC down at Disney Springs is really close to us, so we go there. And I really value that experience. I think there's something much different than watching a movie at home.
Oh yeah.
On HBO Max. We went and we saw last weekend the new Clint Eastwood, Crime Macho. And, Christine was like, well, why don't we watch that on HBO Max? I go, no, it's different. And it's a different experience going there and watching that. And I know a lot of people nowadays don't value that, but I do think one of the things that's been lost is the social aspect of experience something together and experience something outside of your own home. And, with Nolan in specific, you were talking about, I don't think the experience always has to be necessarily visual. And yeah, it is a visual medium and it's told visually, but let's compare, when you talked about Avatar versus Dunkirk. And I don't know if anyone's ever made this comparison in the history of comparisons, but
right.
To me, Avatar didn't have much going for it besides the technology. Like when you look at the story, the comparison.
It's Dances with Wolves meets Fern Gully, essentially.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And if you really want to watch a movie about how terrible human beings are because they're trying to get what they can't obtain and they want to destroy things, like that's a dime a dozen story nowadays.
Yeah.
And when you look at Dunkirk, he was really trying to get the experience of the different perspectives on that event. And to show what that felt. So to me, that was much more meaningful. And the way he played for time and, everyone experienced time differently. And then it all came together at the end. To me, that was much more interesting of an experience, even though technologically it wasn't as advanced as Avatar. So we have a whole discussion of what is a theatrical experience, what is a movie experience as well.
That's what I think some people didn't understand about that movie is like, because a lot of people are like, I didn't know who the characters were. I'm like, yeah, neither one of those guys knew who each other were too. They were just trying to survive these couple of days. That's what he was trying to put you in the middle of it as like somebody there. And it's like, yeah, you're going to catch little things. Maybe you'll catch a name, but you're not going to know who these people are when you're just trying to survive. That's all you're trying to do. And that's what he was really trying to express through showing the different points of view.
Right.
And that's that. Yeah. Some people I don't think really understood that. And thank you, JC, $50 super chat. Why can't I send 69? Yeah. I don't think they have a 69 setting on there, but
because this is not the Gronk stream. If it was the Gronk stream,
right. And how are you having a vodka stream without vodka? What do you think, dude? What are you talking about? We got it right here, buddy. Got the vodka going, don't worry. And then this is a vodka soda too, doubling up on the vodka, if anything. So thank you, JC. You're awesome. Appreciate it, bud. Appreciate it. But yeah, the Gronk, speaking of that, how you enjoying the football season so far?
I mean, I'm excited because we have hope again as Patriots. So I'm interested to see what happens with Mac Jones, how he's developed. I think he's looked great so far. I think people are actually underrating him. I think he was underrated going into the draft. I think intelligence in a quarterback is such an important characteristic, and I think he has that. And I think, with professional training techniques, you can grow the arm strength. So I'm excited to see what happens. I just want to get past week 4 and get past all this. Oh, Brady hates the Patriots. The Patriots hate Brady. Like, we had 20 great years. Let's just enjoy it. I still enjoy Brady. Like, I don't need to hear this hatred back and forth.
It's always going to be that, aren't they? Isn't this year the Bucks are actually going to they're going to actually be visiting the New England, right?
Right. That's what I was saying about week 4. So that's next week.
Okay, gotcha.
This weekend, but because of the way the media machine works, they're already hyping up the game next weekend because they know that's what's going to get them the clicks and the views and the ratings and everything. So, we're hearing all about that. But in general, I think this football season it's football that's back because last year there was no preseason or anything, and you can't really have a full football season.
No crowd. Felt weird. Right. That whole thing. I mean, it was like, you got some noise in there, but it just was still weird seeing. I mean, same with baseball. It was just weird too, and seeing the cutouts, and it was kind of funny. But I do love the fact that, I mean, it's hard to, especially football. I mean, every sport, but football especially because everything's just so intense, and when it comes to football, that You need that. You need that crowd. Maybe baseball was okay with it, but even that needs a little bit, especially when you get these close games like in the later innings. But we got a couple more people showing up. We got Zaki and we got Mr. ACS Anthony. What's up, guys?
Hello.
What up?
Hello.
What up?
How's
How
it
you guys
going?
doing?
Doing all right,
Doing well,
man?
thank you.
Good. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining.
Yes, my pleasure. Thanks for the invite.
No problem, man. No problem. How was your show today, Anthony? Good?
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Yeah.
We're good. Yeah.
Cool. And Zaki, how you doing?
Hanging in there, no complaints. Ready to sleep in tomorrow.
Dude, you and me both, man. It's been like that kind of week for me. I tell you, I'm just
I
like
wake up Monday morning with the intention of sleeping in 5 days. That's all that keeps me going.
It's kind of how it is sometimes. Where I'm just like, I just want to sleep in, wake up, and maybe go get something, some kind of breakfast sandwich somewhere, and just be like, it's the weekend. It is the weekend.
Yeah.
But thank you guys for joining. Yeah, we were just talking about a little bit of sports and stuff right now. Just kind of talking about football being back and everything.
Yeah. I heard a little bit of the conversation. Mac Jones is looking good for you guys. Patriots fan, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Born and raised.
No, he looks good, man. He looked good. I saw a couple things because I also have like a football show I do on Tuesdays, and a couple of the co-hosts are Patriots fans, so yeah, let's see.
Are they still Patriots fans? Most of them have jumped ship.
They jumped ship with Brady.
They're still Brady fans, but they still rep their Patriots gear. They're still Patriots fans. They're excited about Mac Jones. So, and he looks. I saw him do a couple things this past weekend on the trick play where he could have went long. He went for the shorter, still a first down and everything. But yeah, no, I think he's coming along nicely. So I'd be excited if I was a Patriots fan. I'd be excited about Mac Jones.
Well, it's nice to not feel like we're going to be one of these teams that is always looking for a quarterback. To only have had 1 year of someone like Cam Newton. I couldn't even take a year of Cam Newton. I was going nuts.
I still can't believe how much he just. I mean, he was such a beast at one point, and then all of a sudden it just. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Yeah, jeez.
Yeah,
he was terrible.
Did
he didn't land anywhere, right? He didn't land on a team anywhere, right?
Jeez. No, his shoulder's gone.
Yeah. He'll but somebody's going to pick him up. Guarantee somebody get him.
Yeah. It'll happen somewhere.
Somebody will have like a major starting quarterback injury before the season's over with, and he's going to be out there. So yeah.
See, yeah, Steph said it right. Cam was a rebound relationship.
Look, I'll explain to you why Cam Newton was on the Patriots. It was very simple. So it had to do with two things. One, Jarrett Stidham was not ready. Everything that came out of Stidham's camp was that he had all the physical abilities in the world, but he was having trouble with the playbook. Then there was no preseason because of COVID. So how do you expect a guy who's in his second year trying to learn the playbook, which the Patriots playbook is one of the most complex in the entire league, to start? They had to bring in Cam Newton because of everything that was going on. They needed a veteran. They needed a veteran who could deal with the shortened season, knew how the NFL worked, and also essentially act as a bullet shield. He took all the hate and everything in the media. I mean, nobody would love Mac Jones the way they did now if we didn't have Cam Newton for a year. Everyone would just be like, he's not Tom Brady. But now it's, he's not Cam Newton, thank God.
Yeah. Damn, that's a good point. It's a good point. It's definitely a good point.
Belichick knows what he's doing, man.
Yeah. Doc, do you have a football team? Oh, did we lose him? Zaki?
Sorry, I'm here.
Okay. I don't know. Do you have a football team? Do you watch football at all?
I used to follow the Bears when I was living in Chicago, but that was close to 18 years, a little over 18 years ago now. So ever since I've been in the Bay Area, I just kind of stopped paying attention to sports, unfortunately.
Yeah. It happens. It happens. No problem. But yeah, being in the Bay Area, man, you should be a Giants fan. Giants, go Giants. They won, by the way. So suck it, Dodger fans. Sorry. But anyways, yeah, got to keep that first place. It's only a game. They're only a game up, man. I mean, they're both guaranteed to go into the playoffs, but it's all depending on who wins the actual who wins the actual league. And we got like a week left, so hopefully they can keep an edge on them Dodgers, because damn, the Dodgers keep on winning too, damn it. Anyway, so yeah, a lot of things happened this week, and it's interesting. I wanted to get you guys' opinion and anybody else who ends up joining up too. I mean, we've had some first off, we got this, we got the merger. Well, first off, the first thing that came about was Marcia Lucas. And Zaki, I actually wanted to get your opinion on this first. You heard about what she had to say about the sequel.
I did.
Yeah, the sequel movies. So what are your thoughts about her remarks?
Well, and the prequels. She was no fan of the Phantom Menace either.
Hey, let's not forget that. Yeah.
I think I personally, I disagree with aspects of what she said, but I certainly, if there's anyone on this earth who's connected with Star Wars, who's earned the right to say whatever the hell they feel like, it is Marcia Lucas.
No, you can't. No, you can't.
You're either in this box or this box. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
There's aspects of what she says I disagree with. I have a complicated relationship with the sequels. I would say I do ultimately enjoy them, but I have to swallow hard oftentimes and sort of realize, like, well, my Star Wars movies are the ones from the 80s, and I'll always have a special relationship. Everything else you can plug into in different ways. So I think some aspects of what she said, I'm kind of like, well, I don't agree with that. Some of it, I'm just like, well, yeah, I don't think she's wrong. I think what she says about not having a plan and kind of JJ and company sort of, doing an improv exercise with all three of them as they were going, I mean, that's correct. That's accurate. And if there is an original sin with those films, it is that.
Yeah, I mean, she did go hard. I mean, even she's kind of almost, threw some shit at JJ and Kathleen, and it's like, ooh. And I know some people some people love that, because some people just absolutely loathe all the Disney Star Wars. And I'm like,
yep.
I'm like, I mean, I'm not in that category. It seems like every other week I see a video. Is Kathleen Kennedy gonna get fired? No, she's not. Will you stop it with the whole she's gonna get fired? She's not getting fired. Nothing's happening. Stop it. But yeah, it's like every other week that's what's gonna happen. But at the same time, it's like, it just did seem like they didn't have a plan when it came to and you think that they would have. Like, I mean, it seemed like JJ set the foundation with Force Awakens pretty well, and I think that's probably my favorite out of all the three of the trilogy. But I think Rogue One was absolutely probably the best one of the Disney movies, I think. Even though that got rearranged a little bit too, but I think that was definitely. But yeah, so I mean, I'm kind of with you too, where I kind of go, maybe that was a little bit like a little much, and I'm like, maybe pull it back a little bit. But at the same time, I'm like, I can understand it though. I can see it. You're not entirely wrong. So, what do you think, Anthony?
Yeah, I've always had the saying that it's you don't make a trilogy with three different directors. Yeah. So I think if
even though the first one technically had three different directors,
it did.
Yeah. But
George
was
was
there the whole time.
Yeah, the entire time. Yeah. So like when they planned The Force Awakens, and they had already come up with this thing where they were going to have was Colin Trevorrow was going to be.
Trevor. And
then Ryan Johnson. Yeah. And so like to me that's where, because look, I'm one of the people who are like, yo, the sequel trilogy doesn't bother me as much as it does a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like, I see some issues there, definitely some issues, but like it doesn't bother me. Like those issues don't bother me the way they bother a lot of other people. So I think if the sequel trilogy if JJ was going to take the helm on all three of them, it would have been like, I think The Force Awakens obviously would have been The Force Awakens, but I think the other two movies would have been a lot different. It would have went a lot differently than it did. And I think that you had Ryan Johnson come in and almost seemed like he just wanted to turn everything upside down. You know what I mean?
I thought was good.
Because there was Star Wars fans complained because The Force Awakens followed this model, it seemed like, from the other movies. And then when somebody came in and actually said, okay, I'll just take that model and turn it upside down, then they didn't like that either. So like, I don't know what you
I know. You just think about that gif from The Notebook. What do you want? What do you want? It's like, fresh, or do you want something that's like the same thing over and over again? And I think, Ryan Johnson's kind of do that. I mean, there's some things in Last Jedi too where I'm like, not sure. Like what he did with Finn, I totally did not like. I was like, come on, Finn was set up to be something. To me, I thought he was going to be full on. Hey, he's Force sensitive. I got that right at the beginning of Force Awakens when he looked over at Kylo Ren and almost like they sensed each other. And I went, oh, he's got it. He's got it. Oh, he's got it. And then it just didn't go anywhere. And then come to find out that, he was supposed to kind of have it. What do you think, Justin? What do you think?
Well, first of all, I just want to preface my comments by saying I'm not a big Star Wars guy. So you have to go from that perspective when I say that. But I do agree that the Force Awakens was the best of the new trilogy. I won't go deeply into The Last Jedi because some of the things I say would be very unpopular about it, because I think the main problem was the attempt not to make a Star Wars film, but to force ideas into it. And I think when you're talking about Finn, that's a perfect example. Killing, what's his name? The Snoke was a terrible decision. Terrible decision. But overall, I think the thing that shows what Marcia Lucas is saying the most is Poe, where they get Oscar Isaac's this great actor, and he has this role, and there was essentially no point to his character in any of the three movies. He could have not been in any of the movies, and it wouldn't have mattered. And the point that resonates to me the most about what she said is something that I actually had heard that previously George Lucas said. He sold Star Wars to Disney because he knew Disney had all the princesses for girls. So he was like, I will sell them so they will have a franchise for little boys as well. And then they took the franchise for little boys and turned it into another Disney princess. And I think that's the biggest mistake they made, that showed that they fundamentally didn't understand what George Lucas was going for. And I think he's 100% correct that if you look at the way Disney is trying to market Star Wars and all the properties they have, that if they had kept it for little boys, that look at the business they would be doing even more. Because I think a lot of the older fans who are pissed off, it's not because they hate women, but it's because this was their property for them and it was their boyhood. And now you're turning it into something else. And that's hard to take away from somebody when you look at what Disney is doing otherwise. Yeah.
And you think that they probably could have balanced it a little better too, maybe, in this day and age. It's all about trying to do that balance. And I think sometimes these movies, they try to just veer too much. They try to veer too much to the left or the right, and sometimes it just doesn't hit, but you can have a balance. We got one more that's joining. Got Mr. Garza. What's up, sir?
What up?
Yo, what's up, man? Hey, you can hear me, right?
I can hear you.
Yes. All right, cool.
Good.
Yeah, what's up, man?
How you doing?
Not much. Just I'm actually doing work on the side, but it's like it's work for like my benefit. It's not like work like, oh man, I got to do work. You know what I mean? Like, it's only gonna help me on my end.
Yeah.
Some kind of
what's up, man? Yeah.
What trailer? What's going on? Anything?
What's that?
Is it like a trailer or just other kind of work?
No, it's like for real world work. You know what I mean? Like, which is like a tongue twister. Real world work.
Say that 3 times fast.
Just improving like little like SOP stuff.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
But,
now we're just talking.
What's up, man?
We're just talking.
I've been absent. I've been absent like this whole week. I don't even know what's happening. Other than
I know you haven't been tweeting or nothing. So
yeah.
Basically this week, I mean, there's some of the topics that we're going to be talking about right now. We had Marcia Lucas that kind of threw shade, or not kind of, she did throw shade at the Star Wars sequels. I don't know if you read
the editor, right?
Yeah. Well, ex-wife too, of course, George.
Is it shade if it's a direct insult? I thought shade was like an indirect.
Yes. Shade would have been like, well, I wouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
But they decided, no, she went, yeah, no, they were wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. So she flat out called him out for messing it up, for fucking it up. So
I mean, one of the things that I think is interesting about this whole situation, and I've been offline, so I don't really know too much about it, but I do know, I saw it, and I mean, let's be real, and Steven would back me up if he was here. Yeah. If you look at the original trilogy, and then you look at the prequel trilogy, like they added certain things without making it feel regurgitated or like, oh wait, I think I kind of know, or it added things to where you were like, well, why are you doing that? There's no reason for you to do this certain thing, right? So, like for instance, Jango Fett getting killed, right? Like, I mean, it wasn't necessarily like shocking to you, but you were also like, oh, okay, you kind of have a deeper understanding of Boba Fett's hate for Jedi and all that. But when you look at like what she was talking about, where you kill Han, it's like, well, what was the purpose of that? Like, what's the idea behind, like, you just did that to like shock, to have a shock and wow factor. Like, I get that.
Or to appease Harrison Ford, who didn't want to play the character.
Yeah, sure.
Like, I don't want to do another trilogy. Just kill me off, man.
Yeah, and he could have. And you look at also how JJ was kind of like, oh, it's an open book. Look, it could have worked if they would have just stuck, regardless if everybody hated, Rian Johnson's take on Last Jedi. It could. I mean, if they would have just like kept going deeper into that, like if they would have really gone deep and dark. Obviously, I think it would have probably served better, but it basically, I feel like it was a, I don't know if it's like a metaphor for the times that we are in, as far as the woke culture, and you have to have, and no disrespect to minorities or anything, because I am one, so I feel like I could say it, but like you have to have minorities in certain roles, and you have to have this, you have to all these check boxes that are on like what makes a viable blockbuster. And I feel like they did that specifically with Star Wars, where they went, okay, well, we gotta have this type of character so that we could check that box off, and these two characters, we got to make sure that they go together, and we got to have some interesting deaths, because we have no other stories to tell, which is like insane to me, because it's like, dude, you could literally tell so many fucking stories in Star Wars. Like, you didn't.
Yeah, look at Visions.
Yeah, like,
dude, I still haven't watched that yet. I
haven't either. But I saw literally like one scene of like this fucking Sith lady, like fucking with 8 like lightsabers or whatever.
It's fire.
And I was just like, dude, okay, like I get it.
Yeah,
and it's interesting to me to see, like, again, it's kind of like a moment or capsule of our culture that we're in right now, what this Star Wars sequel trilogy really was. And I think, I don't know. I don't think that Star Wars would want to rewrite what they did, but you're not having anybody going, man, you know what? We need to kind of like forget about the sequel or the prequel trilogy. It just doesn't work. You know what I mean? Like, no, there's so much like depth in the prequel trilogy that you don't even realize. You're like, okay.
There's still shit that I see like people post on Twitter where they go like, well, yeah, check this out. Like, I think I saw this recently. I didn't even put it together, but apparently, like in the normal the original trilogy, anytime that Luke was always like, R2, stay on the ship, stay here, R2 never stayed there. He always followed Luke. And then somebody made the correlation of when Anakin said that in Sith, he said, stay here. And when he did, Anakin never returned. So it was almost like it was just like a wounded puppy kind of thing. Like, hey, the last time my master told me to stay here, he didn't return. I'm going to follow you because I'm going to make sure you're going to be all right.
Yeah. Which is interesting when you think about it, because it's like, that's deliberate. It's not like you're going, oh, that's kind of cool. Like, I wonder if he knew that. No, he fucking knew it. Yeah. And that's the thing when you look at, and as stupid as it sounds, I mean, it rhymes, right? I mean, there's all these parallels that George did with Star Wars, even with the prequel, where it's almost like you're like, dude, was that really necessary? Well, to George, it was. For instance, like, I think episode 4 opens with the ship getting taken over, and you see the opening, whereas episode 1 starts off kind of not necessarily the same way, but it still is the way the ships come in and do things, and it's just funny that that's how it works. And then you look at Star Wars trilogy or the sequel trilogy, and you're just like, oh, okay, well, there's just okay. Han gets killed. I mean, there's no like. It is like, oh, okay, I guess he just gets killed. That's it.
I mean, it's shocking and it was crazy and it's sad, but yeah, at the same time, it's just there's such a missed opportunity to not have had Han, Luke, and Leia be together again. It's like, yeah, we saw Leia in Han and Leia and Luke, but just to have all three of them be in one shot. At least
and also
one.
have all three of them get killed by Kylo Ren, like one character, like is like Jesus, dude, like spread the love a little bit,
right?
You know,
I know it's like damn that Ben, and then at the end it's like, hey, I'm good now, guys. Sorry, you know. I think I'm one of those that I wish that Kylo Ren would have ceased to exist and Ben Solo was like at the end of Last Jedi, all of a sudden that was like a kind of a cliffhanger thing. So then we got like an entire movie where it was, hey, now we got Ben Solo, who is a combination of a Skywalker and a Solo. You realize this? We can have a blaster right here on inside of his leg and a lightsaber on the other side. It's like, I mean, to me, I'm like, come on, that could have been something really cool right there to have that combination.
Or they could have gone, really dark and just had Rey at the end of Last Jedi look like she was going with Kylo to the dark side, right? Because we haven't really seen that part. We haven't seen like somebody on the light side going dark. And you end with that cliffhanger of, okay, well, is she going to the dark side or is she trying to bring him back? Like, you don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then to kind of see that transition, but whatever. You know what's gonna be different than Star Wars, but also it's gonna feel the same.
What?
Oh man. I figured you would know. No, I'm just
kidding. Of course I know what you're talking about. We're talking about the little bit of a moon that's a rebel.
Yeah. I've been
okay. So do we think that tomorrow at the Tadum is there going to be some mention of Rebel Moon? I mean, obviously Zach's going to be there.
Yeah.
Army of Thieves. Anything that we're looking forward to? Zach, are you looking forward to anything tomorrow for the Netflix fan event?
What's funny is I just became aware of it like an hour and a half ago because I saw a little thing on YouTube with Kevin Hart, and I was like, oh, okay, I guess that's a thing. So I'm going to say I'm ready to be surprised since I was already in the last 90 minutes.
I like it. Now it should be good. I mean, it's if anybody, it's going to be at noon, right? Eastern Standard Time, 9 Pacific. So hopefully, I won't be too hungover to watch it. We're definitely going to be getting a new Army of Thieves trailer, which is we're going to get full-on trailer, not just tease. We're going to get something full, and then of course other trailers too. I'm sure probably get some Stranger Things 4 and whatever else is going to be coming out. Anything you're looking forward to, Anthony?
Yeah, Army of Thieves, and hopefully we get to see some. Or we're not going to get to see anything, but hopefully we get to see Zach at least talk about Rebel Moon since it is also a Netflix project. So
yeah,
that's pretty much. And Stranger thing, please finish that before these kids are 22 years old.
What's his name? Like shot up like a foot and a half. It's like
Finn.
Finn. Jesus
Christ, they put those posters out. Yeah. I was talking. I think we talked about it on Four Nerds like last night. It's like the poster they put out. He's taller than Paul Rudd.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah,
like that kid shot up. He's in that awkward stage of puberty where he like just shot up, and now like the rest of his body's gonna try to catch up. Where we've all been there. Where like certain parts of your body start growing faster than other parts, and then it's like, hey, and he just shot up, and like now he's like kind of looking like Jonathan Crane a little bit. Like hey, now he's gonna fill out a little bit.
That was my when they kept once Stranger Things 3 came out, they were like, yo, we're gonna keep going. Like the brothers, the showrunners or whatever, and I was just like, oh, you do realize that these are kids, and they're growing facial hair, and it's just
dude, that's got to be like some of the I mean, that's what Shazam is running into also. It's like these kids are, I mean, now it's like, hey, now what's his name can play Shazam. Get out of here, Zachary Levi. He's old enough now. You know, it's like, when you have a kid, when you have a cast of kids, it's like you have to be quick on that.
You have a window.
Yeah, but I mean, luckily, you know, we got some talented writers that can work within it. And I think it'll be okay with Stranger Things. I'm curious. But at the same time, I was going, what the hell happened in season 3? That was like 2 years ago. That was so long ago. And then I'm like, all right, there was that cliffhanger. He's probably okay. What about you, Justin? Anything you look forward to tomorrow?
I mean, I'm worse than Zach. What's his name? Zachy? Sorry. I'm worse than you. I just heard about it when Dave mentioned it. So,
okay.
I mean,
so
obviously,
you know about it anyway.
He's right. See what that movie's actually about. I liked how they were framing that in the original teaser and in the poster and everything. You know, the making it related. Any Rebel Moon news would be interesting. But I mean, I'm not really a big fan of most of Netflix property. I mean, I got a couple of episodes into that show with the guy from Entourage, the one that everyone was raving about. With
Adrian Grenier
and everything. And that was a cool premise, but you know, then it devolved into his wife's a cheater and he was a cheater and everyone's a terrible person. I'm like, why do I care about any of these people at this point? So I only have Netflix for Zack Snyder at this point.
Nice. And so do we think that is he going to be talking about some Rebel Moon stuff tomorrow? Are we thinking? What do you think, Garza? Think he's going to talk about some Rebel Moon stuff?
So it's interesting. You know, I won't give it all away, but I do know that there's there's a possibility that not only are we going to hear some Rebel Moon news, but there's a potential that we might hear who the lead's going to be.
Exclusivo.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool. Like I think he's saving it for this Tudum presentation or whatever. And I know that because I was told I couldn't even tweet out GIFs about it, like in general, because he's trying to do something different this time, or not different, but you know, save it for Netflix just because it is a Netflix property. But it would also be Netflix IP, you know, his, but still with Netflix.
Yeah.
And so I'll say this. I have an idea of who it's going to be as far as the lead is concerned, but I'll just throw this out there of what the description is supposed to be, just so you guys kind of have an idea, because obviously it's late at night, you know, it's tomorrow, so it's not, I can't really ruin anything, but it's fine. Yeah, but it'd be one thing like if I was like a week from now and we had like all this anticipation and all that, but I mean, it's literally tomorrow in the afternoon. So
it's not even
what I was told was that filming should begin right at the beginning of 2022, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
But the main lead is supposed to be and obviously I don't want to I mean, speaking of Star Wars, but 20 to 30-year-old female BIPOC, so person of color, I guess, right? Or multiracial, athletic, and martial arts and fighting skills are a plus.
Yeah.
Samantha Wynn?
Samantha,
yeah. I mean, you would think, from what I know, I don't think that's the case, but
pretty sweet. I mean, he does like to work with her, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, and you would think that, but I think they're going to need some kind of quote unquote star to have that lead role, like as one, just the main one, just like you would with Army of the Dead.
So who has some fighting background,
right? So just think about it, right?
Somebody who's like
a person of color,
mix, like a good mix, like I am, like a hybrid or something like
that. Same.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, could it be somebody's protege?
I mean, it could be somebody that's.
Come on. The movie that just came out with Samuel L. Jackson. I was talking about Maggie Q. It was a joke.
Oh, really?
There you go. Yeah. See, I was Maggie.
I'll tell you that, and you'll probably get it after I say this. And it could be. I'm not saying that this is a sure thing. I'm just saying this is probably likely who it's going to be. But it's somebody that's so obvious that you would be like, no, that's too obvious. Like, why would
Journey?
It be
Is it Journey Smollett?
no. I don't know. It could be. I don't know. Possibly.
I don't know.
She did. I mean, she was in, what's it called? Lovecraft Country.
Yep.
She did an amazing job in that. She was in Birds of Prey.
Mm-hmm.
She got her own series now, Birds of Prey on WB.
I mean, I wouldn't hate it at all. I think.
No.
So you think what? Okay. What do you think, Anthony? What do you think? The description that Garza gave us.
Plausible for it.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. And also she's interacted with him before, right? On social media, as far as like when the Snyder Cut came out and shit. So like,
yeah, she was a supporter of the Snyder Cut.
That's what I'm saying. Like you start putting those things, you're like, wait, I remember when I heard that. Like, she was supportive about the Snyder Cut, right?
Somebody just put in there Zazie Beats. Yeah.
I
would far more lean towards
Journey. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Because you need a star. I mean, technically, you need a star. You need somebody that has a name.
And she's not quite there. Yeah, she was in the Joker. People might know who she is, but not quite. And Deadpool too. I mean, she's totally getting up there. But Journey Smollett, she's kind of established herself pretty well. Yeah.
Also, if you want to make any type of correlation between like Zack Snyder's shit and then like the entire DC universe, and then something like this that has nothing to do with DC universe, but also like it has like the same core of fans.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's somebody like, if he announces that shit tomorrow,
that's gonna blow up the internet again.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's what I'm saying, and that's why I think he's trying to save it for this.
Be smart.
Be
smart. Yeah.
Now, granted, again, I don't know if he's going to announce that. I have a feeling that he's going to.
Mm-hmm.
But we're so late. Like it's late in the day. It's tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like it's
And if he doesn't, hashtag Garza was wrong. So
yeah, it could be. But at the same time, when it comes out of whoever it is, if it is Journey, whenever it comes out, I'm going to pull this up. So
yeah,
I'm just kidding.
Zaki, you got any ideas of who could lead Rebel Moon?
Man, I'm just sitting here listening.
Yeah,
and I have. It's funny because I haven't even been following the development on Rebel Moon, so I'm just ready to be enthused. Because I think this. I think we talked about this last time I was on, about just like this is like just a cool thing. This is his playground. It's going to be his own thing. I'm ready to see him cut loose and just do whatever his fancy tells him.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the good things about like the fact that he pitched this to Disney or to Lucasfilm essentially, and then Disney bought him out, and then they were like, "Nah, we're not doing that." That's probably a good thing because then he spent the last 12 years going, "All right, well then I'm just gonna build my own little origin with this, change some things up the way that I want to do them, And then if anybody knows exactly, some of the things that he wanted to incorporate in this movie, you kind of go like, "Yeah, there's no way they were gonna fucking do that."
That's just it. I mean, technically, what they did to Zach, and I could say this because I know obviously certain things, but they basically in Force Awakens and Rogue One went, "Hey Zach, we're gonna use like literally 10% of your idea, but it's both in both Force Awakens and Rogue One. Yeah. They're literally the biggest, one of the iconic ways of you go, oh, that stands out so much, and you're like,
really does.
Oh, that's why it stands out so much because that was Zach. That's it. And so you imagine what Zach has in store. The only thing he needs to do to get Rebel Moon right, and I'll just say this openly, is he needs to make sure that the villain is fucking sinister. Like, I mean, that's it. Like for his idea, for his idea of what he was planning on doing with Vader.
Yeah,
he needs this villain to be that level, and not necessarily a Vader like
even more.
He just needs him to be a fucking like ruthless person. But then all of a sudden, you're kind of like, I kind of understand.
Yeah, sympathetic.
Yeah,
it's got to be like Zod with a fucking lightsaber, like just a little bit more.
Yeah.
And thank you, Master. Not sure what exactly this is. Wow. Hi, Dave. I love you. My wife just slept with ACS. Okay. I don't know what that is.
I know we're on OnlyFans, bro.
She's got a head start on the vodka stream as well.
I don't know.
Jesus.
What is going on?
I mean, I saw that pop up, and I had to like not. As Garza was
Yeah,
talking, I don't want to start cracking up right now because
I mean, I haven't been on in a while, but goddamn, dude, what are y'all doing on here? Like, Jesus.
Oh man, no, but that'd be cool. It would be great if he did do something. If he did mention something about Rebel Moon, and I wouldn't be surprised if he does have something in mind, because
I mean, he might have a surprise. I mean, I say surprise, but like a surprise, like, hey, also look who's joining me. Yeah, not logo, but I mean, like hey,
oh yeah, like bring.
Just want to introduce you. Yeah. I mean, because
that'd be fire. That'd be fire.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, dude, that'd be. Yeah. You're talking about this Tadum thing, which is like DC fandom, but for Netflix.
Yeah, whoever it is, bring her in like he brought Henry in the announcement. Right. You know what I mean? Just like
just nonchalant.
Yeah.
After the Army of Thieves trailer, and they do all that, and they talk about that. Maybe whoever's hosting could just be like, so Zach, you also have a movie that you're going to be, maybe, we'll do that whole thing, like set it up. And then he just goes, wow.
Well, yeah, because you got to think about it. The way he's talking about Tadum and how he's going to be there. Yeah. A producer, let's be real, a producer in that role doesn't need to be promoting, hey, I'm going to be there. Like for even for Twilight of the Gods, I know he's directed a couple episodes, but that's still that's a ways away as well. And we already got the casting announcement of that.
Yeah.
Rebel Moon, that's something completely unique to, all right, well, this is the first time we're hearing something, and it's on this DC fandom-esque event for Netflix. Like, it makes perfect sense of why Zach would be like, oh yeah, I'm going to be there. You should stick around. Oh, I'm going to announce this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I'm excited. Like, okay, if it's Journey, cool. If it's not, that's fine. I was hoping Anna Hathaway, but whatever.
Yeah, well, he did. Yeah, he has mentioned he wants to work with her. Maybe one of these days. I mean, he's got a lot of movies out there, but I mean, I'm still kind of rooting for Samantha Glenn, to be honest. So I'm like, I think she'd be pretty cool. As like,
yeah,
I don't know. It's just something. I mean, especially if it's just her background, the fact that she can do. I mean, I'm not saying Journey can't do some of these scenes. We saw what she could do in Birds of Prey, but I think Samantha Glenn could probably do more because she did start off as a stunt woman, you know, and I don't know. I just think that. Even though she's not so much a name, I just kind of I like that. But maybe she'll, if she's not the lead, maybe she will be a side character. You know, I mean, it is going to be a Seven Samurai kind of.
Yeah, you're going to need multiple people.
Yeah, there's going to be a whole cast of people that, and we're going to see some familiar faces that, of course, have worked with Zach. I mean, that's what he likes to do.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
also some Jamie Chung back in there, right?
Yeah, no, they're casting from what I'm hearing, they're casting a lot of like big ass fucking martial arts people, like jacked. Yeah, good. So and it's funny to think of like when you think of like a lead actress of how they can portray that kind of warrior type. Like if you look at his Infinity commercial, and not dogging that commercial at all, period, but. Like Kate Hudson doesn't look like a fucking lead warrior. You know what I mean? Like she's gorgeous.
Yeah.
But Kate Hudson isn't going to sit there and lead your film to be like a fucking warrior. You know what I mean? Which is kind of weird. But he directed her, so.
Yeah. Also, when I had the pleasure of talking to Samantha, she's literally like, and she said it several times. She was just like, "Yo," I asked her about working with Zach again. She said, "I would literally drop." Anything I'm doing, if Zach comes calling, he's like, "Yo, I'm thinking about you for doing whatever." Yes, she would literally drop everything she's doing and do it. So, yeah. But also,
I know.
That's a really that's a really good like thought to have is Journey, fucking Samantha. You know what I mean? Like it's just like. Either one would fucking work, you know what I mean? That's pretty fire. So at least if it is indeed Journey, like with the lead, and I would also like to see Samantha be involved in some kind of way with it. But that just sounds. And if he does announce some shit tomorrow, that's That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. But I'm looking forward to the Army of Thieves panel and the new trailer, because that's what intrigues me about Army of Thieves is the fact that it's like, okay, yeah, this is going to be a full-on heist, safe cracking type movie. We're going to get, it's a origin of Dieter, which we all like that character from Army of the Dead. But at the same time, I'm like, what's the little Easter eggs of, oh wait, in Vegas there's a fucking there's a zombie apocalypse happening, so obviously there's still going to be that mention, and how it's going to tie up together. Are we going to see, is there going to be a jump where we see Dieter going in Vegas? What happened to him? Possibly, who knows? Like, there's just so many questions, especially after watching Army of the Dead a few times, and you're just like, we didn't see Dieter die. And even Zach, I think on here, when the last time he came on here when we were talking about it, he said like, somebody mentioned like, when you don't see a character die on screen.
That was me.
That was you. Okay.
Yeah, so I was like, we didn't see him die.
We didn't see him die. And then I think Zach would be like,
because I also told him, like, we didn't see the coyote, we didn't see Lily die.
Thank God, because I mean,
she got stabbed. Right. Yeah, but I mean, we also don't see Zeus die. So
I thought we did. I thought you saw his head get blown off in the helicopter.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry. My fault. I was thinking of whenever he's on the roof, and I was like, well, we don't see him die at that point.
No, not the point. Yeah, but then what's his name blows his head off. Yeah, but then again, I mean, who knows? But that's the thing too, is like the origin of that. When I talked to what's his name?
Richard Citrone.
Sorry, Richard Citrone. I was like, totally drew a blank on his name. When I was talking to him and I was trying to squeeze out a little info, it's like, I mean, he knows the entire origin of Zeus. And I asked, I was like, okay, when Van and Zeus are in that hallway safe, he looks like they recognize each other. They look like they recognize each other. Like this is not their first time that they've been. And he kind of went, I think you're right. And I was like, okay, there you go. So we might, when it comes to this world, we're going to see like a backstory with that too. There was something, they know each other. They do have a familiar, there's something familiar about, with each other about that. You could see that in that scene. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. And again, hashtag Garza's wrong if he doesn't say anything about Roman.
Also, one last thing about them. I don't know if they're gonna. I don't know, like, how much you guys watch like the Netflix shows. I don't know if you guys watch Ozark.
I watched the first season. I have to watch more of it.
Yeah, it's show's fine.
Season 4, right?
I would like it's supposed to be the last one. That's another thing you said. What we like to see. I would hope we get like a trailer for the final season.
I'm sure that's gonna happen. Yeah. The Witcher 2 probably gonna get something. With that, and you
got to keep in mind, so it's the end of September. So how many months do we have until literally January 1st? October, November, December.
3 months. Yeah.
So 3 months of pre-production for Rebel Moon.
Yeah,
they're going to start shooting at the beginning.
It's already in pre-production too. So
well, that's what I mean. You're like, they have to announce. I mean, we're going to find out once they start shooting, so they can't keep that shit a secret. That's what I'm saying. This is like this is like right in the prime time of them announcing who the lead's going to be. I mean,
no, it makes sense. I think it would be perfect, to be honest.
I mean, if I already have, if I've already seen basically a call list or whatever, that means they're actively, like, they're looking like, they're ready.
I'm sure he already has like some of his actors, his leads at least. So that'll be cool if that happens. But
and I could trust it because it's Christy. She's always done his casting, so I'm like, they always pick amazing. So like, if it's Journey, then cool. Like, they obviously picked her for a reason. You know what I mean? If it's not, whoever they pick is there's gonna be a reason.
I mean, let's face it, Zack Snyder knows how to do some. He knows how to do some good casting.
Fucking hard fact.
Well, so I was actually going to ask Justin what he thought, who he thought might be like a villain, like who, like, just. I mean,
Shannon. No.
Yeah, like what kind of villain?
Cast as the villain?
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough to say because the thing that was sticking out to me in when you're saying Journey is, but when you're also on the other hand saying martial arts, and it's what I'm wondering is he doing like an Eastern influence kind of approach to Star Wars? because that's really never been really done before, and that would kind of be an interesting angle to take. And then that raises interesting implications about who the villain would be. I do think that if you're doing a Zack Snyder villain and you're having a female lead, I do think it has to be some sort of male, super macho, fascist leader, and that works with the whole Vader thing, right?
Yeah.
So
Right.
I don't know who he would.
Well, what do you mean? What do you mean Eastern influences? I don't know. I don't know what
Well,
you
when
mean.
you're talking about martial arts, think about like
Right.
Shang-Chi, right? Like part of the reason Shang-Chi works so well as a martial arts movie is it leaned into Eastern culture and leaned into their ideas and their issues and their family. And we haven't seen that with Star Wars, right? Star Wars was very much, Western.
Okay.
Western meets sci-fi. Well, what if he did that with sort of like an Eastern sort of samurai type movie? Like that would work very well with the whole setup of Star Wars. So I could see that.
Yeah. Once you guys get a chance to watch Star Wars Visions, it's all, most of it. I mean, obviously it's animation. So like just when you, like I said, the episodes are really short. When you watch it, then you'll see like that. Well, exactly what you're talking about. It's like an Eastern influenced Star Wars. Some of the shit, like literally, dudes will pull out their thing and it'll be a lightsaber and it's a samurai sword. It's fire. Just when you watch it, exactly what you were talking about, like an Eastern influence to it. That's almost all the episodes in the I guess they're calling it a season. They're all just that exact thing where it's just like there's a lot of samurai shit in there.
Well, I feel like if he's taking inspiration from Kurosawa a little bit, obviously we're gonna see the villain, but it's not gonna be the villain that is right off the bat. Like we're gonna see like the minions, like kind of like in Seven Samurai, it was the bandits that were taking on the Seven, and that's what I feel like we're gonna see in this movie. And then all of a sudden at the very end is whenever the fucking main villain's gonna show up and handle business.
Well, I mean, but that works perfectly with like shoguns, and then you find the emperor at the end. I mean, it's right there in the word emperor, right?
Yeah.
So you can see the Japanese influence if you're going in the Eastern direction. So that's why it's interesting. And I would lean more towards thinking someone like a Samantha Wynn seems to fit more with the martial arts description of it and what I would think Snyder would be doing. So
I mean, I could also see him also
so
casting what's his name, Hirota, the guy he played
who played Scorpion and played
Scorpion. He was a villain in Wolverine. You know what I mean? And
Yuki Sanada.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Sanada. There you go.
There you go. I mean,
he'd be a good. I think he'd be an awesome villain. I mean, that guy has some range. I mean, but then at the same time, he's kind of a villain and already in the Army of the Dead universe. So it's like,
I mean, is he a villain though?
Kind of.
Like, what does he do that's bad?
Yeah, but I mean, he kind of just like set those guys in there to get his money out of the safe. But it's just like,
I mean, he was giving them an opportunity to get out of there, right? Like dude, there's $2 million. If there was no money in there. Hey, if there was no money in there.
I really love you. Sometimes I really love you when you say stuff like that.
I'm just saying, like, was he a villain? I don't know.
I think he was a little bit of a villain.
No, seriously, if I said what Garza just said, the entire fan base would try to burn me down.
I know.
Garza said, "Oh yeah, that's reasonable." Like, that's the point. Is I think a lot of the point of Army of the Dead was obviously his henchman was evil for how he went about it.
Right.
But a lot of the point of Army of the Dead, and this is one of the things that I've said about the movie that makes it sort of murky, is everyone's not telling everyone the whole truth.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's kind of being like, "Oh, I'm going to get this, but you're going to get this," and they're not. Even Batista's character is doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And he's the main character. So it's really hard to say who the bad guy is. And that's part of the point of a zombie film. I mean, Snyder said that, right? That humanity is the villain in zombie movies. So that's sort of the point is the corruption there. So is he really that bad for, just trying to get his company ahead and trying to do the thing to get them on the market and get the information they need to do the research?
Mm-hmm.
It's an open question. I don't think it's meant to be easily answered.
Right. Yeah, it's not clear.
Never is.
But also you look at his reaction whenever he sees the bomb go off. It's not like he's sitting there like fucking pissed. He's like almost like let down. He's like, damn it.
Yeah.
Like again.
Yeah, like
see, that's the thing. Again,
he
does he know about the time loop? Yeah.
Well, but the whole point is that he doesn't know what transpired in that situation. He doesn't know how Martin was, or he doesn't know who got screwed up. He's just looking at it going, "Fuck, I needed that sample."
Yeah,
shit.
He needed the sample.
You know what I mean? So, I mean,
yeah. It's all, yeah. And that's what's great. That's what's great about all this is like, man, the fact that Snyder has 2 universes that he's developing. But other things came up this week too, where obviously we have a possibility of Warner Max coming back to the fold. David Zaslav talking about the shock and awe of their plan when it comes to streaming, when it comes to all the stuff. Zaki, I wanted to ask you about this. Just seeing where everything's kind of going and how everything is right now currently. And then you have this merger that's happening with Warner Media and Discovery. And then you have Zaslav, who just seems like he's just on top of it. He's looking at every nook and cranny. What do you think, when it comes to where all this is headed and streaming and stuff? I mean, we talk about it all the time, but what do you think, with his recent words? I don't know if you saw what he had to say about everything.
Yeah, I've sort of been dipping in and out of it. I don't know. It seems like, just anecdotally, HBO Max has not blown up the way they probably hoped when they got that whole thing going. So I wonder. I think clearly they're sitting on. Quality wise, it is a great service. The diversity of content out there is absolutely fantastic. It's just. And yet, when I talk to my students and things like that, HBO Max is just not a service that they're using.
Yeah.
And so I think anything that gets more people aware of just how much great stuff is there, I mean, how can you complain?
Do you think the branding of Warner Max, do you think that's like a better name? Because to be honest, I always thought that was kind of like a better name, but even though everybody knows like HBO, but at the same time, that can confuse people. To me, I don't know. I don't know. What do you think?
I agree with you. I always felt that calling it HBO Max brings to mind a specific kind of content.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like, well, I mean, when you look at Disney Plus, it's like Disney is a brand that encompasses several different things. And I feel like HBO is a brand within Warner Brothers, and that should have been a vertical within. Calling it Warner Max would have sure made more sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally agree. And I'm hoping that with them putting in that application to get that name and keep it and kind of like being like a placeholder for possible future intent, I'm like, I mean, I honestly, like I said, I think it would have been a better name, to be honest, because it is the Warner Brothers library that you're getting. HBO, yes, home box office, cool, but do people actually, modern, younger people know what HBO means? Do you think they actually know what that?
For the younger, it's like even for myself, as soon as you hear the word HBO, automatically think Game of Thrones. I'm just like,
that's
what
people think. Yeah,
exactly. That show and
Sopranos, maybe.
Sopranos. Yeah, that like those type of HBO exclusive like things. So like, no, Warner Max would have been way better title for it.
Yeah, get that library, man. Their Turner library, man. I always find like little classics in there every now and again. And I'm like, oh, it's gonna be that night. All right, let's watch this. We're watching this tonight for sure. But I do like the fact that, I mean, he's definitely it seems like Zaslav is like, all right, I'm looking at everything. I'm talking to a bunch of people. I'm seeing, and even people were saying like, do you think he knows about all the fuck ups? I'm like, yes, he knows. He knows what's going on. He knows all the numbers. He probably is wondering like, why after Zack Snyder's Justice League, you're not gonna do anything more with this thing? You really just let him go away, and you lost Christopher Nolan too. What happened there? It's just, and I'm sure there's a little bit that Christopher Nolan probably he could be hard-headed, which guards would be quiet. No. I totally see that. Like, it's just like, but at the same time, you just kind of go, man. The way that his quote said, where it really he's really looking at everything meeting with a bunch of people, and then it really depends on the strong, how strong Warner Brothers actually is. So, and he knows how. I mean, it's an iconic fucking studio. I mean, that name is there. It's like, and that's why I even like the logo of Warner Max. It was so simplistic, but yet so just perfect because it had the W and the M, and they're essentially the same, drawn the same, but one, but the one's upside down, one's not, and then it's in the shape of the Warner Brothers shield, and I'm like, yeah, perfect, just keep that, why not? And then the last time we saw it was, I think, last year at DC Fandom with the Hallelujah trailer before they switched it. That was the last time we actually saw the logo.
Yeah, that was one of the craziest things with the trailer was it was like everyone's like, Warner Max,
what?
Yeah, but then the trailer was fire, so nobody after that nobody
we're like, whatever.
So who wants to do this real quick? I have a little funny thing. So again, this is Zaslav. I've said this before. I feel like he's on a 5-year lease with this. He's coming in because unfortunately, what's his name?
Kylar.
He fucked up, and he got real cool and real kosher with the execs at WB. So he didn't let go of the people he was supposed to, which is the whole reason why he was brought in. So Zaslav's coming in going, I'm not going to do that. Fuck that. He's going to change some things. Now, I'm going to have you Google something real quick. And so that we didn't hear about Zaslav basically becoming WB, head honcho until what, 5 months ago, right?
Something like that.
Yeah. We're in 2021, right? Okay. So Google the Robert Evans 70s Hollywood producer home bought.
What?
Yeah. I'm giving you keywords so that you can
Robin Evans.
Robert Evans.
Robert Evans.
Home bought Hollywood producer or whatever. And see if you pull something up from like Wall Street Journal.
I'm kind of delirious because I'm tired. Am I hearing what I'm hearing? Because this makes no sense.
He's just saying Google something.
I was just giving just keywords.
I see Robert. Okay. Oh, whoops. Robert Evans home. You said home bought?
Yeah, somebody bought it.
Oh, bought. Okay.
Oh, bought. Okay. See, I'm thinking
not BOT.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. So, oh shit. Okay. So, what comes up first is David M. Zaslav, Beverly Hills home where Robert. Okay. So,
yeah, that was in 2019.
Okay. So, Beverly Hills home where Robert Evans screened his movies sells for $16 million to CEO David Zaslav. Okay. Where are we going with this?
That was in 2019.
Okay.
So dude is he just bought a house in LA. He wants to fucking be in Hollywood.
$16 million house. 3,900 square feet. Yeah.
He's
let's see, home where the late producer hosted actors like Warren Beatty and Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah. Nice. So like Kylar lives in New York.
Yeah. So he's making a home
the farthest away.
Correct. The furthest away you could be and he still made friends with the WB execs. Zaslav has been living there since 2019.
Okay.
Now, whether or not he knew he was going to be taking over back then, I don't know. I mean, who's to say? But I do
know how far back these
correct
negotiations start going. Yeah.
Either way, he's like planted in LA. He's gonna be there, and the WXX are not happy about that.
Yeah.
Now that they realize who their boss is gonna be, like it didn't matter back in 2019 because he was part of Discovery, had nothing to do with WB.
It's gonna be interesting because the fact that Discovery Plus and everything, they have a pretty good library too, and to combine that with this, and like I said, they I mean, to be honest, they really need to drop that HBO. I really hope the Warner Max brand comes back. I think that, I think when it came to the HBO Max rollout, I mean, the fuck up was calling it HBO Max, which was confusing for a lot of people. Who were like, wait, do I have that? I think I got that. It's on. Even like I listened to the KLS morning show, Heidi and Frank, every morning, and they, you know, when they would talk about streaming stuff, and they're like, what's that on? HBO what? It's like it just gets confusing. So I think doing the rebranding to Warner Max would be a good strategy. It definitely would be a good strategy.
Because they had it. What was it? There was another one. Wasn't there? It was like HBO Plus or something. Like there was like
it was HBO Go.
Yeah, HBO Go.
Exactly. Plus.
Correct. No. Yeah, but it was HBO. They had HBO
Go
the app, and then they had HBO Go, and then they yes, obviously after the other one was just like, wait, what? No, but Warner Max would be a better.
So Zaslav's, I mean, that link that you just sent, it's all, but he's definitely going like, all right, I need to put some ground over in LA and Hollywood, which he definitely did.
It's probably bi-coastal, but it's pretty good that you could buy a $16 million mansion to go through half the year.
Dude, yeah. I mean, talk about good problems, right? Like, where do I need to go? Do I need to live on my East Coast or fucking, my $16 million mansion?
Where do I got to take my private jet, man?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, well, the one thing I heard, and I mentioned this, I tweeted it out too, but I'm not saying that they're talking about it or anything, but I know that if the Ayer cut comes out, that's a big sign for Emmerich and Sarnoff probably are getting axed, because it's like their last.
Get the fuck out!
Yeah, I mean that's like exactly I'm not saying that they're talking about it. I'm not saying that they aren't. I'm just saying that if the Ayer cut comes out, that's Emmerich and Sarnoff basically vying for their the last bit of.
Especially if it's after Sarnoff was like, no, we're not doing that, and then if
absolutely,
it's like all right,
and that's a big sign. That means they're probably going to be gone. So, but that fucking Snake Hamada is still going to be there. So
yeah, I know. Everybody always asks about him, and I'm like, I don't think he's going to get. If anything, he might just get put somewhere else, because maybe he hasn't done like the job that they wanted him to do when it came to DC films. Yeah,
they put him in the basement like Fox Mulder. Like, your office is your office is like Fox Mulder. Yeah,
we're gonna start calling you Spooky Walter. Yeah. That's what we're gonna start doing. No, but it's gonna be it's all interesting, and we just all got to be patient. I know everybody's just like, I'll do this now, say this now, what's gonna happen? It's like, well, we're not gonna find out really much of anything till probably like what, May of next year, March, May, April, whatever the hell.
When is their fiscal year? Like, when does it begin? Do you know?
I don't know. Does anybody have that kind of? I would say like it's usually quarterly, right? So April's like the first quarter, like the end of first quarter is like after March, and then something like that. I don't know, but they said like halfway through 2022. That's what they keep saying. So it could be, summer. It's going to be like next summer, essentially. I don't know. Probably. Beginning of next summer.
Yeah, it's gonna be a minute.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit, but it's not to say that other things aren't happening right now. But anyways, Zaki, you gonna jump off right now?
Yeah, if that's okay.
No, it's fine. No,
no, it's not.
I'm hearing.
You gotta stay for at least 2 hours. Come on now.
I'm hearing some combination of my kids are going at it and wielding some kind of implements against each other. So
no problem, man. I appreciate you jumping on.
He needs to film it.
Yeah.
Your kids like, you got the touch, and they're like literally going at it. He said they're wielding some kind of thing.
Yeah, stop it. No, but I appreciate you jumping on, man. Go ahead and plug yourself and go ahead and take off.
Oh, thanks so much. Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Zaki's Corner. That's ZAKIS Corner. And I've got a couple pieces up at the San Francisco Chronicle this week, actually. Look at the Superman and Lois first season in review, review of the new Wonder Years television series.
I also watched that. Yeah, nice. I saw your piece. Yeah.
and also Star Wars Visions. I also talked about that, so you can check those out at the San Francisco Chronicle.
There you go. Thank you, Zaki. Appreciate it, man.
Thanks so much. Bye.
See ya.
Have a good one.
Steven says no. I guess November is when their fiscal year.
Oh,
I googled it, and what I'm seeing is September 30th is when the fiscal year ends. So
okay.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, they all fucking pay attention to that shit. That's for sure. They're like, yeah, the fiscal year. That's all they give a fuck about.
Yeah.
So
yeah, see, that's dance. It's just it's interesting because I get constantly asked, like, I mean, obviously everybody's like, are they going to restore the Snyderverse? It's like, well, let's hold on, let's relax a little bit. But yeah. See, then Steven just said, go with what Justin said. So there you go. So yeah, I mean, things are already.
Can I quote on that? Like whatever. Like,
huh?
Can I quote Steven on that? Whenever? Can I just put?
Yeah. You want to screenshot your screen right now? Go ahead. And, you can just cut that out. I'll cut that out in Photoshop for you, and you could just have that for you, and you could just anytime you need to use it on Twitter, you could just right there. No, but I mean, like, yeah, I mean, I'm just loving. Because anytime, I mean, we're damaged goods when it comes to people coming in and like, hey, is this person going to do what we want? What, some of these, what the fans want? Because, when Walter came in, when Ann came in, everybody, and even Kylar is like, oh, this is going to be the person that's going to, do it. And then it just doesn't happen. And it's like, so now it's like, hey, now we got to be, hey, let's just be a little relaxed. But what I'm seeing is the fact that what Zaslav is saying at these investors conferences and the ambition that he has is like, oh yeah, 200 million subscribers. Fuck yeah. In two years or so. I love how it's like, or, maybe more because it's probably going to take, but I think that was one of the biggest problems about HBO Max was the fact that it was only the United States at first. The rollout was only United States. And then it just, it took a little bit longer for it to get in more territories, and it's getting out there. I mean, it's not just the United States anymore, thank God, but at the same time, just the rollout was going like, how are you supposed to compete with Netflix and Disney when they're all around the world and you're just in one market, big market? Yes, it's a big market. Obviously it's the States, but still the fact that it wasn't all around the world. But I think he's seeing like, oh, it's going to roll out and they're going to do it. And I mean, it's just kind of weird though. It's like with the name, I just keep on going to the name. It's like, is it too late to change the name to Warner Max, or is it going to be a benefit to call it Warner Max? I mean, that's what I keep on dwelling on. It's like, I like the Warner Max name, but are people going to start getting used to HBO Max, or is it going to benefit because now people are going to be like, what's this Warner Max? Is that like Warner Brothers? Oh, poop. They're not going to see that when it's HBO. They're like, HBO, human body odor. What? I remember that was always a joke when I was like HBO, human body odor. So, anyways, yeah, no. So
as long as they don't tell like
I was in.
No, I heard
yeah,
I heard it. And then you remember?
Oh yeah. I love watching that on Saturday nights, man. When like the new fucking
like
movie,
the Terminator and shit, and
it would go through like the city, and then it would go,
and
it'd be like that was an event. You don't even know, guys. Man, now we can just fire anything up and just put it on right now. Before you had to wait. It was appointment viewing to watch 8 o'clock at night, man, on a Saturday. And I'm like, oh, I'm watching Escape from LA tonight. You better believe it. I'm looking at the TV guide.
Well, that's how you know it was the home box office, because you go to a 9 o'clock showing and don't see the movie till 9:45.
Yeah. See. I mean, it's a good name. It was a good name, but does it work now? Does it work? The HBO name. I mean, it's got a legacy for sure. So I don't know.
I think as long as they don't try to like instantly change it and just be like, yo, your app just changes as you look at it. You're like, oh shit, and it just changes. I think they'll be fine. Just change it to Warner Max over a period of time. I think people will be able to. If you want to keep the HBO type of moniker for anything, just go back to like what was the other one?
Skinamax.
Oh man.
Cinemax.
that was that was never an official name, but it was always the secret name.
Yeah.
Yeah, the music, dude. Fucking 12 o'clock, dude. The music would come on. You'd be like, oh man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. Showtime also. Red Shoe Diaries. I remember.
Yeah.
Oh man. Quiet, guys. My mom's watching. She's gonna.
Yeah. She's like, what?
You're gonna be like, what were you watching? I'm like, nothing, Mom. I was watching, fucking.
Oh, it was in the past, man. You can't get mad at me now.
I know exactly. It's like I turned out okay, I think. As I drink on a live stream. No, but like, the name is, it's gonna be interesting to see if they go with that name. I personally think they should, but I don't know. It just seems like that's where they kind of dropped the ball when it came to this first rollout. Like, we were all, Garza, we were behind what Kylar was trying to do. We understood it.
Mm-hmm.
Was it fully thought out? No, probably not. And he pissed off a lot of people. He pissed off Christopher Nolan for sure.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that when it came to this, it just wasn't. But then at the same time, it's not like Disney didn't fuck up either. Look at the Scarlett Johansson thing,
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, they fucked up bad. And now they're all like, oh, we're rethinking all this stuff because Jesus Christ, Scarlett Johansson came out after us. Like, so I mean, it's just it's a whole different ballgame. I mean, but you can't fully blame really anybody. I mean, this damn pandemic just kind of pushed this thing that we were gonna eventually get to when it came to streaming. It was always gonna get to that point, but
I think, Dave, I think that's the interesting claim that I don't know if that's true. That I think that's what they bet on with HBO Max, right? Because the problem right now is we're oversaturated in the streaming market. Is there's just so many options and so many platforms. Is what do you subscribe to and what do you don't at this point? And what they're starting to pivot to is just different creators, right? Paramount Plus made the deal with Trey Parker and Matt Stone. You have Zack Snyder and Netflix, right? They're starting to have different creators. But what HBO Max bet on and Disney countered with was the idea of, you don't have to go to theaters to watch new release movies anymore. But I think what you said is you just said it, they jumped the gun. And I think they jumped the gun with that. I'm not sure the theater experience is going to go away. I think there's an important communal experience that human beings are not going to give up, that you can't get from sitting at home. And I think the fact, let me say this. I think the fact that HBO Max didn't take off as much when that was supposed to be their hook was subscribe to us and you can see the new release movies at home rather than go to see them in theaters, proves that people aren't looking for that.
Well, but they also weren't worldwide.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
I agree that they weren't worldwide, which is an issue with it. But I don't think the theater experience is gone, and I think that's what they bet on as their hook.
Yeah. No, it's never going to be gone, but like I said, it's just got to be like an actual like full-on experience like we were talking about. I mean, that's why all these theaters, I mean, I even talked about it last week when I went and saw Cop Shop. I went to the movie theater that I went to, that I grew up going to. And when I walked in there, and it's a totally different company that now owns it, and they just revamped it. It had the bones of like the familiar theater that I went to so many times, but it was all modernized. You walk in, there's like bar area. You go over here, everything's all, screens and stuff. You can scan your ticket on your phone and then order some food. And then you go to it. And it was just like, holy shit. Like it felt like I just walked into a wormhole into the future. Like I'm, the outside of the building. Yeah. It's got a new logo, but it still looks the same. I walk in and it's just like I walked into a fucking spaceship. And now it's like, it's a whole experience. But the thing is, I'm always going to go to a movie like that, just even watching a small movie like Cop Shop. It was great. Just like sitting in a theater that had literally 4 other people in there. I was chilling, sitting back. Every time I go to the movie theater, I turn my phone on airplane mode. I'm like, leave me alone. And I just want to watch the movie. So it's never going to get lost by me. And a lot of people are going to be like that, but what's going to happen though is there's still a lot of people that are just going to be like, they're not going to go out because they're still a little freaked out of things that are happening out there. So, yeah.
I do think that this is becoming a regional thing. My experience with
you're in Florida,
coming from different areas in the country is that people who live in different areas are having different reactions to what's
100%.
going on in the world. And they have different, I just have different questions and different commentary from people who live in completely different areas. And I will say that life here in Florida is completely different than life in California. So.
I would say. I would
just
totally
like it's all completely different here in Texas and Austin.
Right. And when you talk to someone from Texas versus someone from California, you get completely different reactions to all of those things.
Yeah. But it is, but even when I went and saw Free Guy, I mean, that theater was probably about 75, 80%. Yeah. Great. Like everybody was jazzed to go see that. Same with Shang-Chi. You know, it was about like 80, 85%. I'm going, okay, good. People are getting back out there. Yay. This is good. This is a good thing. But at the same time, you're still going to have that audience that's not comfortable with it. So that's why they had to try to find that balance. And we've talked about it. What's that balance going to be? Is it 45-day window? Is it a 30-day window? I mean, obviously Nolan asked for 100 days. And I'm just like, might be a little too much there, bud. Yeah. But at the same time, is he like shooting because then it's going to scale it back and he's going to be like, all right, that's fine. You know, is he doing like a negotiation thing?
That's 100% a negotiation.
Yeah, I think that's what it was, to be honest.
He goes, you start at 30, we start at 100. Let's meet in the middle, right?
Yeah.
No, he went, I'm going to start at 101.
Right.
And that way he could at least give him like a day. All right, fine. Not 101. Oh, I'll do 100.
They're like, Nolan, at least give us increments of a week. All right. Here, like does it reach to 100?
100 days.
Yeah, like wait, that's like that falls on like a Tuesday, man. Come on. Give us something here.
Is that why it was 101 Dalmatians? Because someone used the Nolan technique and they were just like, we'll do 101. That's fine.
Oh man, there you go.
Yeah, that's 14 weeks and 0.28. So what? 14 weeks and 3 days.
Yeah,
you know,
well, that's why I'm kind of like that. That's what I knew. I was like, that doesn't line up.
Maybe. It probably didn't line up technically, but so he probably went, okay, well, if y'all release it on Wednesday, that gives Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and so they're not going to release a movie on Monday or Tuesday. So he's
already banking on his movie on a Wednesday.
You know what I mean? Because that makes sense.
Power Christopher Nolan, right there.
He gave it that one day.
He's like, oh, you're releasing this on a Wednesday.
Yeah. You're gonna go with that early screening. So.
Or he would have done something weird with time we didn't expect it right at release date anyway. So.
Oh, there it is. Somehow he's gonna make this biopic in some kind of weird like time loop.
Well, at what day was the atom bomb first created? I have a feeling he'd be like, this date.
He's trying to correlate it with the anniversary and shit.
Yeah, let's Google that.
Yeah, Google. Yeah, because you know what, Christopher Nolan, he does do shit like that. I mean, there's some weird shit. He has layers when it comes to stuff like that. But we're gonna bring in somebody else to the party, Miss Amanda. What is up?
What up?
Hey!
I feel like I haven't seen a lot of you in a while. Thanks, Garza. Thanks for the welcome.
Oh, hey, sorry, I was looking.
His screen froze. His screen froze. That's what happened.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Then you're off the hook.
Yeah. Dude, that's a perfect way to freeze right there.
It is. You look like you're intently studying something.
Yeah, deep thought.
Yes.
Oh, I am.
Or he's smelling shit on his finger.
Yeah. Can y'all still hear me?
Yeah, we could hear you perfectly fine, but your video just froze.
My whole Chrome it's not responding.
Hold on, let me remove and add you. Up. Now you're just
up.
You still there, Garza?
Yeah. Hold on.
Okay. So yeah.
But I'm gonna. It's gonna look like I leave. I'm just restarting it. So
okay, that's fine. Come back whenever.
Yeah.
That's too funny.
I'll let you back in, maybe.
When was the atom bomb invented? The government shut your computer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Nolan is keeping an eye on shit.
Love it.
Like, what? How's it going, Amanda?
I mean, it's good. I just finished watching 1992's Candyman, and I'm I have all the ideas for my job, so I'm really fucking excited.
Well, the Giants won too, Jose. So Whatever. As long as the Giants won too. Sorry.
Has anyone here seen the new Candyman?
I haven't seen the new Candyman because I wanted to revisit the old one first. I saw the old one a long time ago, so I need to watch it again.
So good.
Yeah, I keep hearing it's great. I mean, it's doing actually,
I have not seen the new one. I'm saying the old one.
Oh yeah,
the practical effects. So good.
Tony Todd,
man, that guy.
I didn't realize it was Philip Glass. I love Philip Glass, and I was like, I'm already freaked the fuck out. Like this music has got me on edge.
Yeah. Yeah. You always have to have
really the best movie to watch while you're taking a long bubble bath in your bathroom.
Yeah, that doesn't really relax. That doesn't really relax you. But when it comes, all right, you're good now, Garza. But no, when it comes to when it comes to him, he was it was awesome when he showed up in Final Destination as the guy in the morgue. Oh my God. It was so great. Like when he showed up and it was just like, oh yeah, there you go. I mean, just to add more to Final Destination and have him like be that character who actually explains what is happening in the movie. We're like, oh yeah, death is it finds you. Like if you dodged it, it's gonna find you. And it's just that whole scene is just creepy because his fucking voice, man. Jesus Christ, that voice.
It's what's cool about it is in the movie she does a voice. She does an identification in the police lineup. Helen, Helen
Keller. Sorry.
Does it voice lineup? Come on.
Well, voice. I mean, she can't see, right? Oh no, she's deaf. My fault.
Yes.
My fault.
Chasing waterfalls.
That's my fault.
Oh wow. She doesn't voice lineup, and I was like,
you even had Justin go, oh no, don't even go that. Yeah.
Justin ducks off screen. I'm not going to be visible.
Yeah.
Yes. It was good. It was good. And I coach UIC. I coach at UIC. So I was like, I already wanted to do it because it has to do with Cabrini and the urban housing thing. But then I was like, no, now we have to because she's a grad student at UIC. We have to. So
nice.
Pretty excited.
Yeah. I know. I still gotta, like I said, I want to revisit did you watch Malignant?
No. Okay.
Okay.
This week, there were so many things that I wanted to watch. I was gonna watch Malignant on like Sunday night, Monday. I was gonna watch. I started to watch Squid Game.
I heard that's good.
I just couldn't deal with like more heavy shit this week. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna watch a whole lot of Paternity Court. That's what I'm doing. When I'm not working, I'm watching like Jerry Springer level entertainment this week.
Wow.
So it was good to come back to like actual thought put into entertainment with Candyman.
That makes sense.
Well,
makes sense. But
I would say Malignant. I thought it was.
You didn't like it. You didn't like it, Garza.
No, it's not even that. I thought it was gonna be scary. Like no bullshit. Like I don't watch horror movies.
Could you see it coming? I kind of already have it spoiled for me. So
so did I.
I mean, no, I didn't see it. I didn't see it coming until I was watching. I was like, oh,
yeah.
But even like the beginning was like the most kind of scary part, but also at the same time, you were kind of, like, for me, to make sure, because I was watching by myself, so I was like, man, that shit doesn't. I was like, well, if that was the case, like, you don't have, like, in my head, I was going, well, you don't need all these fucking lights off. You know what I mean? Like, you could turn them off. Like, certain things, like, as a real person, I'd be like, no, fuck that. I'm not gonna do that. You know? And,
that's
so like as I was watching, I was thinking of like, okay, well, how would I be? Like, first off, the fucking house is literally on a regular street.
Yeah, but it's so rickety.
Yeah, but at night it's so fucking like haunted
Foggy.
house looking. I was like,
oh yeah, that's what I loved about it. See, that's what I loved. I was like, I even said that so many times. I was like, this place in modern day Seattle.
Before Chip and Joanne got there.
I'm like, this is the one house that hasn't been renovated. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. I mean, I guess it works.
I mean, to be fair, have you been to Seattle?
No, I haven't.
I mean, I have, but it's mainly just like the marine layer is up there. It's not like on the grass.
Yeah.
I mean, they really like when you see the outside of the house, but see at the same time, I knew what James Wan was doing. He was doing like, all right, total homage of that 70s, 80s style.
Oh yeah, no, it definitely felt.
Yeah.
There was a feeling of a genre type feel to the film. So that's why like it didn't feel like I wasn't like.
Yeah,
listen,
it's not.
Like I watched the trailer and it freaked me out, but then like I was trying to convince Avery to watch it with me because I was like, dude, let's just watch. He's like, no, I'm not gonna do it. So I was like, all right, well, I'll show you another trailer like of his that I know is probably fucking scary. So like The Conjuring, that shit's fucking creepy.
Yes.
I'm not gonna watch that shit. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I will watch it, but I will be freaked out while I watch it. It'll
right. And so like when I was watching Malignant, I was like, oh, okay. And then you get into it, like for real though, there's a really badass action sequence where you're like,
dude.
dude.
I was like,
yeah. I mean, you're like, dude, this is a fucking shit. Like, I'm not even scared anymore. I'm like, dude, this is an action movie.
Yeah, when that happened, I mean, that's total James Gunn right there. I mean, I thought like the first two acts, he was like, all right, this is a little bit of Dario Argento, a little bit of Raimi, a little bit of me in there, and then all of a sudden, like when it got to the third act, it's like this is all fucking me right here.
Yeah, and James Wan, not James Gunn, by the way.
James Wan. Oh, did I say Gunn?
Yeah.
Oh, God damn it!
Hey, you know what though? Speaking of James Gunn, I guess this just came out though, and I'm only saying James Gunn because of Guardians. But Chris Pratt is Mario. Like,
it's the Mario.
I mean, is he going to have an Italian accent? Is that racist if he does an Italian accent? Or?
You know what?
This is appropriation. It needs to stop.
Right? I mean, is it,
dude? That's exactly what I thought. I'm like, okay, I already see the backlash because. They always try to go after him so many other times. They've tried to like cancel him and it never works because he's like, hey, what the hell did I do? And it's like, yeah, what did he do?
Why doesn't anybody go after Justin Bieber for this shit?
I know.
Or like the millions of others. Like,
yeah.
What was that?
He's American.
Yeah, that's what it is. No, but like, yeah, I thought that too. I'm like, okay, and you got him, and I even said in my video, I'm like, and Charlie Day is Luigi, and I'm going, I don't know, maybe he has some Italian in him. I don't know. I'm like, I don't know his background. I'm like,
you can't do. They cannot do an Italian type accent like Mario. They can't. Right? I mean, am I wrong in saying that?
Well, I think maybe they could. I don't know.
I feel like white Europeans can poke fun at other white Europeans.
See, that's the thing, though, is like when it comes to Italians, they don't consider that like I don't know. I even wrote like Joe Rogan has said that it's like, yeah, and technically we're even though it's like it is like from a even his parents were like immigrant parents. For some reason, that's not in the category as
let's call Max.
Yeah.
Well, once your kids can get famous on a reality show where all you do is drink and fuck, I think that you're being oppressed.
What were we gonna say, Anthony?
He put out like I want to say he put out like a TikTok. He was just like trying to do actually saying it's me, Mario.
Yeah, but it was like a joke. He just that's not what it's gonna sound like, and I think he was just kind of joking.
Yeah,
all right, so like, I mean, let's think about this for real. Like,
yeah,
when you played the game Mario 64, which I played, I loved it.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a Mario. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, that's that is appropriation, but that is an Italian quote unquote accent from a game, right? Like, if that's all we know of, how do you do an accent? Like, okay, for instance, Sonic. We never heard Sonic speaking, so dude, you could have chose whoever you wanted to be.
Hedgehog is a very regional dialect as well.
Yeah, right.
But
to be honest, nothing against
isn't really that influential. So
yeah,
okay.
and nothing against.
To be clear, I did Google him, and Charlie
him
Day does have it. He is like a quarter Italian. Just to be
clear,
I did look it up.
He is quarter Italian.
His father is of Irish and Italian descent. His family's original surname was Del Giorno, which is not delivery.
I was about to say, yeah.
Del Giorno. Del Giorno.
No, yeah.
Well, Charlie Day or both of them? Or
Charlie Day. I just
you're talking about Charlie Day.
Because how can I defend Chris Pratt against all the people?
Yeah, Chris Pratt's like almost. He's essentially a Jew.
I mean. Well, but they're brothers, so like if one's gonna have the accent, the other one's gotta have the accent. Like you can't just.
But at the same time, it's like, I even made the joke. I'm like, in my video, I try to do my best Charlie Day impression. And I'm like, you see him do like a Luigi, Like,
I just feel like
yeah.
Just take it.
What are you talking about the It's like, is he gonna get like that high pitched and shit?
Yeah.
It's like, I'm like, I don't know if I hear Luigi out of there. And then you got Donkey
Kong.
I would watch
Gonna be like, I would watch that. Luigi's Paranoia. I'd watch that movie.
Yeah, that'd be like, why is the princess always getting kidnapped? Like, why is Bowser doing this? Where's he going? What's going on? He's just smoking a cigarette, fucking with a fucking plunger right next to him. He's like, I don't know.
Yeah. What if I plunge him? I'm just gonna plunge him real quick. Let's do this. Yeah, it's like, it's gonna be interesting to the voices. To me, I almost thought that Charlie Day should have been Toad. I'm like, maybe Toad would have been a little bit better because Toad's a small.
Are you typecasting short people? How dare you?
Right?
Hey, come on, Justin. We're like practically the same height.
Did they cast princess, the whatever her
Peach.
name is? Princess?
Yeah, Anya Taylor-Joy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really? Oh, shit.
Mm-hmm. Which that's fine. Okay.
I mean, technically, she's Argentinian,
choice,
so
but I do love her.
Yeah. She's fine. I mean,
that is also that's a departure for her from like what she's been doing. So
I know, right? She's been doing all this like award-winning shit, and then she's like, "Yep, Princess Peach now." Like, wait, you're about to go into the desert to fucking film with George Miller. And you're gonna do a Fiota fucking movie and you're gonna do a voice, but then at the same time, like Justin just said, they just threw a bunch of money at her, and she's like, "What? I only have to work for 3 days for how many? How much?
Who's the director?
I have no idea.
Does it matter?
Yeah,
it does. I mean, technically, it does. Like,
if
you told me a certain director that has been doing nothing but animated films. All right, cool. Like if you tell me it's a live action director doing an animated film, I'll be curious. But if it's some no name that's getting all these big ass actors, it's like, well.
But see, part of me though is like, I mean, a lot of people even mention this too. It's like, yeah, it sucks that nowadays. I mean, and it all started with Aladdin with Robin Williams, and I think Robin Williams even said that he didn't want to have his name attached to it because he didn't want to take away from like the voice actors because there is a voice acting community, and nowadays it's like they're always going to be like the side characters. They're never going to be the main characters because they always have to have like a stars as like the main characters. Now it's never just like, before, pre-Aladdin, it was just like, I mean, those Disney movies, do you know anybody who voiced really any of those? No, it was voice actors. Now it's like they just want to get a name, always a name. And it kind of sucks. But at the same time, it's like, that's how you kind of sell the movie too.
Well, it's directed.
Robin Williams.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Sorry, I just don't think it's. Why are people so upset about this? Like we grew up on that.
I was saying that's where it started.
Angela Lansbury was in Beauty and the Beast before Robin Williams was in Aladdin.
Fact! Oh my
god! So the directors, because it's two of them, they're the ones that I don't know if they created it, but they wrote a bunch of Teen Titans Go and directed the movie.
Okay.
And wrote the movie, so.
That's fine.
if that's going to be the animation style, it's not going to be 3D animation. You know, it'll be interesting. You know what I mean? Like 2D animation, because that's all they've really done. They haven't really done anything that's like 3D animation that I could tell. Everything's like that kind of cartoon style.
Well,
at least directing wise.
And thank you, Amanda. You know, Chris Pratt. His mom is Norwegian. That's all I could find. That's not going to help him.
Dad was minor.
Here's the real confusing thing about this casting news. So I went through that thread, and this is what I don't get. How do you have a Donkey Kong and a Cranky Kong, but no Funky Kong and no Diddy Kong?
Right.
Maybe they're going to expand.
They just haven't got cast yet. That's probably
Probably maybe they plan on expanding the universe.
That's gonna be a little surprise, little gift.
Well, and also you have Jack Black as Bowser. It's like
I think I like that. I
love Jack. I don't. He could poop on a plate, and I'd be like, "This is great." I love it.
Well, it's because he'd be so animated when he's handing you the plate.
Universal? Is this a Universal movie?
No, is it Universal? I don't know who's the big studio that's distributing this.
Well, the reason I'm asking is they're opening up Nintendo World in Universal Hollywood.
Okay, so it's got to be Universal then, yeah.
So I would think maybe they want all these big stars because they think it'll help the park.
I mean,
so that's what it is. It's the synergy there. Because then you're going to have them at the opening of the park, and you have their voices and everything when you go to Super Mario World in the park. So it's got to be the synergy here.
Oh yeah, no, it makes sense. It makes sense. It just does.
Fred Armisen.
Oh, that's right. Who's he playing again?
Cranky Kong.
That's right. Cranky.
I mean, that makes sense. Like, I can see him as Cranky.
Oh, yes.
That's also the one I was like, yeah, that makes
underrated.
Sense. But then I got immediately angry there was no Diddy or Funky. So.
Who would that be? Who would you fan cast though? Knowing that like Fred Armisen is like who fits with that?
You know, Diddy is what's his name? From SNL and Brooklyn.
Oh, Andy Samberg.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, okay.
Give me a good Diddy. I feel like he's gonna be a cast somehow. I don't know why, but
you know who they're gonna do? They're gonna do the guy who played Raffi on The League as Funky Kong. Is what's gonna happen. You know what I'm talking about?
It is.
I love The League. I know I don't know the guy's name, but I can see it in my head.
Raffi? Yeah.
Yeah. He was on Brooklyn Nine-Nine too.
Yeah, was he? Oh, he was in is he in Superbad too? The guy that's like he tries to buy the alcohol and he brings him to the party.
Yeah.
You know, okay, yeah.
He's hilarious. Yeah.
He was in Reno 911 too.
Yeah. He pops up everywhere and he's always like crazy and he's funny. There you go. Even Colbert, who's not here, but he's here in spirit. Yeah, Danny McBride is Funky Kong.
Yeah.
There you go. That'd be good.
That's a good one.
See? So I think I'm pretty sure that's what they're going to try to do. They're going to be doing spin-offs big time when it comes to this. And I think the Donkey Kong world, the fact that they're like, oh, let's get Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong. Yes, we're going to spin it off, and then he's going to. Everybody besides James Franco, who was in the cast of his normal cast, is going to be like voice acting some of these other people.
What's his name?
Michael Cera as Diddy Kong.
And also, what's his name? That is it Shea?
That's a weird
Blanchett
name,
or whatever. The guy that did what's his You'll know who I'm talking about when I say it. When I say the name.
Jay Baruchel.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Jay Baruchel.
Yeah, who sounds like Christian Slater a little bit.
Yeah, like his voice is so like you hear it from How to Train Your Dragon and all that. Like I can hear that.
Yeah,
I can hear him doing that.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, like you got a Blu-ray, you got an HD DVD. Yeah, I remember in Tropic Thunder. I know when he was doing that whole spiel about HD DVDs and Blu-ray. That was great.
Yeah, you know how it won though? Porn.
Porn. Yeah, porn. And then just like the whole time, Robert Downey, you've been talking to me this whole time. Such a good fucking. Oh man, I love that movie so much.
Man, they could not do that movie today.
Oh, I know. Well, even you see Robert Downey Jr.
Every movie made before 2000.
Yeah. I loved when they talked about that on Rogan, man. When Rogan was like, "Yeah, you can't do that," and he goes, "No," and he was just straight out was like, "What happened? What was the response?" He goes, "Well, most of my friends that are black, they were fine with it. They thought it was hilarious." And,
I'm sure.
Yeah, and it's just like, I mean, that's the way it was back then. Yeah, of course he couldn't do it now, but it was just so like. The fact that it was so satire and it was supposed to be that ridiculous, and it's like, and they still try to go back to it. I see it sometimes where they try to go back to it, the whole cancel culture mob, and it just never works. It just, you're just gonna fall flat. It's whatever. Get out of here, please.
The what's the one that's me and Steven, we were watching and we just like looked at each other and we were like, okay, now I feel uncomfortable. A League of Their Own. A League of Their Own. Because like there's a part where Tom Hanks is like screaming at all the women, and then he says something about like something like your husband doesn't beat you around enough. Like it's a domestic violence. But
is that not how you communicate to wives? I don't know. I'm not married, so I feel like that's appropriate.
That would be why you're not married.
I'd be like, you realize that there's I could be beating you, but no, that's not. I'm not doing that. I'm holding back. No, is that not a way to?
It was jarring to hear about it talk about in a cute way. No, Anthony's not allowed to leave. I need to hear him laugh at least 3 more times.
No, but Anthony, he's gonna bounce right now.
Yeah, I
gotta. See, there you go. You got one laugh right there.
Into the water bottle.
Yeah. You gotta.
I'm trying to remember the scene you're talking about from A League of Their Own.
He's on the bus. It's when he's on the bus.
Yeah. There's many rants that he goes on.
Yeah.
But
any movie from that period, I love A League of Their Own. I think the movie's fire. But I might try to watch it again tomorrow now that you just said that, just so I can be like, yo.
It would never
not be
have
surprised.
left the writer's room.
I would not be surprised if there's 10 moments in that movie that I'd be like, wouldn't happen to.
Oh yeah, no, totally, 100%. Like it's
even the scene.
Rosie O'Donnell being cast.
But she was great.
But she already fucked up, dude.
Madonna.
She fucked up a while ago. Like you can't. I mean,
yeah.
Like.
Even the scene where the kid's running up and down the bus with chocolate on his face.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Movie still fire though.
Madonna grabs a bat and she's like, "I'm gonna kill your kid," and then starts chasing him with a bat. Yeah.
Yes. That where it's like, I get that it's funny and we're laughing, but also,
that's funny.
But at the same time, I mean, it was a whole different era, and I think
it's a good thing that we're all
at the same time. We all grew up in it, and we're not fucking doing that. So
exactly.
Who says
not on camera?
I mean,
what?
Come on.
Yeah. Wait. Nobody else is doing that?
I know. Wait.
You would
What?
be the one, Justin. Damn it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm single still, so maybe I'm just not admitting it.
Yeah. All right, Anthony.
Peace out, y'all.
Good night.
Good night. Yeah.
I'm surprised he had his own show before this. I'm like, did you stop? Have you gotten up to pee?
Well, it's not even that. Like, also, like, this is late for me too. Like, I'm gonna have to get off because I got to get up early. So
yeah,
I got to work.
What?
So
okay, hey Dave, let's hang out.
Oh, no, we'll still hang out. It's fine.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just I've literally I've been talking. I've been working on stuff for work. So it's like I'm
I'm now studying all the things on your wall, and I want to know what the sand dollars are for.
On my wall?
Yeah.
What's sand dollars?
Sand dollars above your picture of, I believe it's Avery. I don't know.
Oh yeah, no, those aren't sand dollars. Those are the handprints of my $2. When they were born. Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
So, and then you got the brain, and then the.
I saw the brain for sure.
Yeah. And then, well, you can't really see it because
that's actually his secondary brain. It's his spare brain.
Right. I just take that out, and then you have the thing from Raised by Wolves. You know what I mean? It's all good.
Thank you, Fourth. The fight scene in *Malignant* was more Tenet than Tenet.
There you go. Yeah. Man, what a beautiful note for me to end on. Like,
you did rewatch it though. No, wait. Before you leave, you did rewatch it, right?
oh, I did. Yeah. No, and I rewatched it, and me and Avery watched it again, and we paused it at every moment. We were kind of like, all right, this is what's going on. I had subtitles on this time, and still, it's like
subtitles do help.
Well, they do.
Wait, is this about Tenet?
Yeah,
Tenet. Yeah, it's a fucking trash movie. Like that's a fucking whatever. No,
what do you think of Tenet, Justin?
I'm joking when I say trash.
Nolan's best work, but it's a far cry from trash.
No, I know.
You, Justin.
I'm being facetious. I mean, I know it's not trash, but when it comes to Nolan and you know what? This movie needs to come out during the pandemic because fuck it, I am cinema. It's like fuck you, dude. That movie does not need to come out.
Okay, now I'm gonna draw a line there. No. I admire what he did.
No, I did too.
Living in fear, and he was like, I am going to make it to give people a chance to have an excuse to go back to the theaters.
Yeah, he did.
Nobody in this culture was standing up and saying, no, we have to live. And he was like, this is how I can make us live. And I appreciate that. I think that's heroic what he did.
It was. It's just he shouldn't have made a shitty movie to do that with. He should have made a good fucking movie with it. Like, if he would have made a good fucking movie to do that.
If it would have been Inception, this would have been okay.
Dude, if this would have been Interstellar or Inception or The Dark Knight.
It's not his best work.
Well,
I just think it's really not.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's one thing to be like, no, go see this movie and risk. Like, I didn't give a fuck. Who cares, dude? Like, I went. Like, I don't give a shit.
Plus, he can't wear face masks anyway, you know.
Well, no, I had to at that point in time, but obviously I didn't wear it.
So did I.
But,
you didn't have to wear one. The AMC guy was like, "Oh, pay me $5 for a popcorn. You don't have to wear a mask." It was brilliant.
Wow, really?
$5 every time.
That's so funny that there's like this whole like.
When we
went
$5, you have to wear a mask. That's
BDS
crazy.
Comes home, they were like, you have to wear your mask when you're out here, when you're getting your concessions, whatever. But as soon as you're inside, you can take it off. And we were like,
it's so
that doesn't make sense.
It's bizarre.
It doesn't, but like, we followed the rules
because it's
like,
theater.
But if the movie was, and I'm not saying it was bad because I mean it's interesting, like the plot and the idea of it and what it does, it's great. It was like, dude, I didn't need you didn't need to make it that convoluted to get your point across for the fucking film that you made. Like,
I feel like he made it so that it was more convoluted than it needed to be, so that somebody who like figured it out late would be like, oh, I'm so impressed.
Yeah,
but
like,
everybody else who is following along is like, we don't need a fifth time. Like, this is like,
like, dude, my daughter fucking called the shit in the middle of it. She was like, yeah, I already know. I was like, dude.
The red dress scene. I'm always like, it's the red dress. She's wearing the thing, and they take her in, and that's.
When it wasn't, and so that's all I mean. Like, dude, it was a great movie. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, it's like.
I love the reverse action fight scene. Love it.
The way he filmed it and how he did it, the technicalities of it, great, phenomenal. I didn't need it. Like, dude, that I could have waited. Like, I didn't need to fucking see that in the middle of this pandemic. Not that I give a fuck about the pandemic. I'm just saying that I've yet to see. Like, I wouldn't even say that if Zach released Army of the Dead, I would have been like, dude, why'd you do that? Like, we're in literally the middle of the pandemic. Like, in the stronghold. This is before, like, now it's different, but I'm talking about that was like in the peak of everybody was getting it. Everybody was scared. Everybody was fucking just running to, I didn't give a fuck, but people were. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
there was no epidemic levels in Lynn County. So.
Well, right, but there was like no. It was like, dude, just wait. Like, why do you need the film? Why do you need it to come out now? Like, why? You know what I mean? Like, it's not like he was hurting from. It's not like he was like, oh, I just spent all my money on this fucking film. No, dude.
Justin is like,
you know what I mean? Like, well, no. I just feel like
I'm in the unenviable position of defending Tenet. Like, I don't think it's being.
See, but that's what he's saying, though. Like, if you're gonna make, like, don't make me defend that.
Well, right, and my whole point though is that that's exactly it. Like, dude, you have to sit there and go, oh, you have to second guess what you're defending. When you have to do that, guess what, dude? It didn't need to come out. Like, it didn't change cinema.
Guessing it, I just don't think you're giving it a fair even hearing as to far as what it was. I mean, the reason it's convoluted is that's what it's portraying philosophically. Tenet was his attempt to portray compatibilism as a theme of the movie and demonstrate how it works. So he had to have two timelines that went both ways to show how you can have determinism and moral responsibility at the same time. Otherwise, you couldn't portray that theme in a movie. And that's why it has to be that convoluted.
The most Calvinist movie that's ever been made.
I get that. Like, I understand those points of views and that kind of storytelling. That's what I'm not saying that that's a shitty way of telling. Like, dude, I could never come up with it, so I'm not going to talk shit about it. I'm just saying that for him to basically go, no, you need to go see my movie during this time was so fucking arrogant that I was like, dude, this movie was not worth if I was like really risking my life. Like, obviously I went to the movie theaters. I didn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't care. But I'm just saying that if Zach released Army of the Dead and was like, no, I need it in the theaters, I need it. Like, I don't care. It's June. We just, shut everything down a month ago, but I need my movie in theaters. I'd be like, dude, what are you doing? Like, I didn't need to see, like, sure, I did see Army of the Dead in theaters. I didn't need to see it in theaters. I mean, technically, right? I'm glad I did, but same thing with Tenet. Like, I feel like Tenet, I could have watched it on HBO Max. Sorry, Nolan. Dude, I'd rather watch it on my big-ass TV than my phone, but I didn't need to go see it in fucking July of 2020. I could have seen it this year, 2020 or 2021. You know what I mean?
The only thing I liked about seeing Tenet was that in July of 2020 was that I was literally the only person in the theater. So I was just like, yeah, baby. Like, I was talking.
And that proves my point. It's like nobody was going out. So why are you fucking releasing it? Like, dude.
Yeah. I mean, there's
November 3rd, 2020, by the way, not July.
What?
I had to drive to San Diego to go see that thing.
Wait, when was it?
September 3rd, 2020.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay, you're right. It was supposed to come out in July.
To San Diego.
I had it. Yeah, I had to. That was the only movie.
Like, that's what I said in the beginning. Like, this is somebody who was looking at what was going on. And I'm going to say something very unpopular right now, but this pandemic has been overblown from the beginning. Yeah. And he did what he could. He's a filmmaker. He used what was available to him to try and change the cultural conversation.
But did it change it?
It didn't, sadly.
No, he failed.
I didn't say he did. I said
I know
he
that.
tried.
I know.
It's kind of hard when the whole global political complex is telling us all to be home and do what the government tells us.
You're absolutely right. So guess what? That means Nolan's not the bigger fucking world, is he? He's not a big fucking icon because he can't change that.
He's not supposed to try. I'm not a big icon either.
Dude, absolutely, dude.
Bring a letter to the school board and say, don't give us mask mandates.
Hey, congratulations. He did not read The Fucking Room. Awesome. That's great. Like, dude, he fucked
the
up.
American Revolution shouldn't have happened because they didn't read The Fucking Room.
Well, how do you go from Nolan? How do you go from Nolan releasing Tenet to the American Revolution? That is not even the same.
That's the spirit of standing up.
No, it's not. We're talking about something that could have been put. It was delayed. No. Was the American Revolution? Was the American Revolution
leave right now?
Was the American Revolution delayed? Did we change something from July 4th that we were supposed to go back in April? That's when April was supposed to be it?
I have no idea if Justin dropped or if he left.
He might have left.
I didn't click out.
But
I didn't click him out.
I'm curious if we're talking about Tenet in the same sentence of the American Revolution.
But hey, we got Rob Keys that wants to join in.
That's cool.
Hey, he can't talk about the Constitution at all because
he's Canadian. Yeah.
Yeah, the Constitution.
Yeah, you came in at
America.
a very intense moment right there.
You guys are all over the place. Wait, COVID, Tenet, Constitution.
Dude.
What's happening?
We're just trying global political climate.
Fucking Tenet, man. Tenet didn't do anything. It didn't change anything.
Did you think it was good, Rob? Did you think it was?
No, that's why I came on. I heard Garza here was going to go to sleep and he was talking about Tenet. I'm like, oh, I got to jump in. He's right.
Oh, yeah.
You guys are right. Tenet was pretty disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, for it being like, hey, you need, we're gonna change cinema.
I would have liked it better if it didn't have so much pressure on it. Like,
I
would have appreciated it more. But I had such like, okay, this needs to like revive, and then I was like, oh, I like it. I do like it. It's not his best work. I just really, really, really love fucking around with storylines. It's like literally what I do in my job all the time, and I like it. So I thought it was fun. But you can't make a movie for just me. I don't have that much money, dude.
Yeah,
Nolan,
right.
I cannot make your box office.
He didn't spend his money on it, so it didn't matter. Yeah. I mean, that's the whole point. That's why I'm like, if he delayed it to September, when it was supposed to come out in June and in July and then September, it's like, okay, like, so I get what Justin was saying, where he's talking about, I guess he's using Tenet as the breaking away from the English Parliament, but you know, like at the same time, you know, the American Revolution, July 4th, 1776, that was the day we just, you know, that was the day we decided, right? Like that was our day. We didn't like delay it or anything because of a pandemic. We just did it, at least allegedly. People say it was July 2nd, but whatever.
I think technically it was drafted on the 2nd, revised, and then signed on the 4th. But I'm not a poli-sci major with a sociology.
I mean, I'd go with that.
I'm not really that American. I'm just semi-American. So
Thomas Jefferson wrote it. He was red-haired. I'm done. I'm gonna.
No, that was good. Hey, anyways, Rob, what's up?
Hey man, different background. You see the mess? I'm in the middle of a move.
Look at that. You're in the middle of a move.
This is very new.
This is the beginnings of a studio. This is actually, I'm 3 minutes from where I used to live. I'm still cleaning up the old place, but this place, I had to have a finished basement to get out of that bedroom I was using. I don't know if you guys remember, it had like neon sign, but it was all like temporary. So we repainted all the walls. It's dark walls because it's going to be like backlighting and proper roof lighting and you know, all that stuff. I got sound panels coming in soon, so if there's an echo, I apologize. But luckily, all his boxes of shit and toys and some epic Star Wars toys, it's all it's reducing the echo, so it's all helping. But I think in a month and a half it'll be done. Hopefully,
cool, man.
Dude, like a week ago, it was just everywhere because it's hard floor, hard walls, like just a complete empty large room. So, but it's gonna be nice when it's done. But I still have a lot of work to do. It's very slow.
Hey, I don't mean to bring this up because I'm not, but I mean, at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure that if anybody was going to win an argument, I'm pretty sure the calm one won it, and that I stayed on and I didn't leave.
I'm staying far the fuck away.
I'm fucking around. I mean, because I didn't lose my cool. I'm just
that dude.
I think Justin had to actually leave and was just
like,
"Go down, please!"
He's probably getting mad at me, but like at the end of the day, like I could talk and I can have a conversation. I'm not gonna get mad at somebody like if they don't.
That dude, what's his name? Justin. That's his name. Yeah. Justin said, I heard him say he was trying to be heroic. Christopher Nolan. I'm like, really? Is that what he was doing? Because he left Warner Brothers after that, so I don't know.
Well, I mean, he bumped heads with a bunch of those guys. I mean, obviously, there's that, but I'm sure there was.
Listen, dude. I mean, he went. I'm going to do something. I'm going to prove to you guys, and then he didn't prove to him, and so he's like, well, you know, go fuck off. Then I don't care. I mean,
you were mean to my friend.
Yeah,
that's kind of how I see him leaving Warner Brothers. To be honest, and I don't hate him for it.
No, yeah, absolutely. Like, go make your shitty fucking bomb movie. Yeah, awesome. Like, dude, he could have gone to fucking Marvel and that was his movie. I'd have been like, okay, trash. No, I'm just kidding. Like, if you can't tell, I'm joking. Like 90% joking. There's 10% of it where it's like, that's probably not going to be that.
Well, I mean, like when it comes to this business, I mean, especially with directors, it's always like, you know, what do you got next? What do you got next?
Yeah, but you know, here's the thing. Like with Tarantino, it just like, it just keeps going. Like, you know what I mean? Like you haven't been like, oh, dude, why'd you do that film? Like, you're just like, oh, okay.
Who else do you think is like that? Tarantino.
I mean, there's
maybe like
I don't even put Scorsese on that just because he did Silence. So I'm like,
Wait. You mean the directors like Tarantino that can't do wrong?
Well, yeah, where it's
like
come up like they're just doing
building.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Edgar
Tarantino
Wright.
does his own shit.
Edgar Wright.
Like, he
Yeah,
doesn't-
Edgar Wright.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a good one.
Or I haven't seen Dune yet, but you could say Denis, maybe,
Well,
right?
Yeah.
Correct. You're right. You're absolutely right because he has his own style. Like it's his film, just like
But bring it back a layer. Like those three guys, I don't think they know how to make a bad movie. I don't think they make a movie that's bad. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, for real.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Why
Like, you just
can't I think of the guy who did Shape of Water?
Del
Del
Toro?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, but
Guillermo.
He's not.
a couple misfires. Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Like you look at that situation and you go, all right, well, look, Dunkirk for whatever it was, as far as I guess cinematically, like I hear that it was great, dude. It was a dud to me. Like I was like, boring.
Well, we were talking about that at the beginning,
Yeah.
and how like what he was trying to go for, which I don't think translated to some people. I think it translated to me because when I watch it, I go, holy shit. Like it felt like I was like there, and I'm like, I get what he was going for. It's like, okay, the three perspectives, loud. It's like, okay, we're not gonna get character depth. We're not gonna get a whole backstory or anything like that. It's just these guys surviving. It's like these guys surviving, and we're gonna see how that happens. And to me, it worked. Not to everybody. I get it. But I get it.
Right. Yeah, no, and speaking of Tarantino, he fucking loves that film. And I'm like, dude, really? I'm like, who
tell
are
you
you,
something,
dude?
Just kidding.
Yeah. I'm like, dude, Tarantino, do you know what films are? Do you know?
No. That's his death proof, man. You got to have the one slow film.
Well,
hey, do not. I love Death.
No,
I love it. I actually like Death Proof more than Planet Terror.
Good.
I'll say this.
But it's slow, right?
Wait, Death Proof more than what?
Than Planet Terror. Remember that whole W
fucking the Death Proof.
The Grindhouse pair. Robert Rodriguez did the other one.
Grindhouse.
Did any of you guys actually go to the movie theater and see?
Fuck
all
yeah.
that? Oh,
Absolutely.
Dude, it was so great. It was so great. Me and my buddy went, and it was just like, it was just with the trailers from like Edgar Wright, Eli Roth, and all those guys, and Rob Zombie. It was so beautiful, like the way that they crafted that whole experience. I mean, going back to like a movie theater experience, that was a movie theater experience. That was a drive-in experience in a movie theater, to be honest, because it just had that kind of way to it, and it was You
know what? I will say this: the pandemic was a perfect opportunity for drive-thrus to come back, and we dropped the fucking ball.
Well, they kind of came back a little bit.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? You know what Tarantino's Dunkirk is Jackie Brown for me.
Oh, don't! I knew you were gonna say that, but
no.
So good.
I know,
especially for its era. It was kind of ahead of its time a little bit. So
yeah, and the way that it wraps up with the different fucking points of view at the end, I thought that was pretty cool.
I know. I just haven't watched it enough. I guess maybe.
Yeah, it's still pretty damn good. I mean, it's.
But
and I'm never going to.
Yeah, well, no, it's Dunkirk and Tenet. Let's put it that way. Okay. But hey, Rob. So I had mentioned this earlier before we got heated. That Zach potentially is going to be announcing his lead for Rebel Moon tomorrow at Tadum.
Really?
And the description character, like, who would you think this is going to be? Right? Unless you already know, which is your cheater. But I feel like you wouldn't know.
Yeah, before I answer, I need to check something.
Yeah,
I know. He's
well,
all.
Exactly.
Let me check that email I just got.
No, there, you know how it is. There's things I cannot say.
So the description is, female lead, 20 to 30s, person. I guess it says BIPOC, which I don't know if that means like person of color or bisexual. I don't know what that means. But
no, it means someone who it may be an indigenous person.
Oh, okay.
POC.
Person of color, right? Is what that meant. But I don't know what BI or BY or whatever is meant to be. But the main thing
kind of
is
like a white person thing. So
it can be a white person, right? Like that's
I'm saying the term BIPOC.
Oh,
is a white person thing. It means black, indigenous, and people of color. So
it's like, but it also says or multiracial, athletic, martial arts, and fighting skills are a plus. So
it has to be Samantha Lynn. It has.
I know. That's why I just keep on going back.
You would think, but I don't think that's the case. But Rob, if after you checked your email to make sure to confirm what I was saying.
I cannot confirm.
Rob just found out who it is. I'm not gonna
actually, no.
Deny.
To be honest, I did not hear that, and I don't know anything about it. So
yeah, I think he's trying to make it a surprise. Like he's gonna announce it.
But what do you do? Would they want to distract from what he's showing? You know what I mean?
Well, it's Army of Thieves, but then Rebel Moon, like it's part of Netflix. Like
but Moon's far out, is it not?
No,
well, it's going to start filming at the beginning of next year. I think what Garza is trying, what we were trying to talk about before was like the fact that when they get done with all talking to what's his name that plays Dieter? Yeah, but, I always forget what his actual name is.
Matthias Schweighofer.
Yeah, Matthias. Yeah, there you go. When they do all that, they show the trailer. It's like, well, what if all of a sudden they go like, well, hey, Zach, you got something that's going to be coming up. And then he might do like kind of reveal at the end of the panel kind of thing where it's like they have to start trying to build up this other universe that he's trying to do. Like
I would love that if they tease
it. So that's why it's not like he's trying to like, take away from it, but it's like they save it till, the fact that he's actually going to be there, which to me, it's like, obviously he's got to be there because, he is a producer. He is such a brand now. I mean, that's what he's built up in the last few years. The fact that this is not a movie that he directed, but this is the universe that he created and his name is still on it and everything. So of course he's going to be there because, it's a Zack Snyder name and Netflix is like, hey, we love you. We love you, man. Let's just put you wherever, wherever. What do you want to do? Oh, when you're doing Army of the Dead, junkets and stuff, we're going to put the fucking volume behind you. You're going to be in that setting of like, the way that they did that. That was pretty fantastic what they gave to him when it came to all that. So who knows? We're just kind of speculating here, I guess you could say.
Well, yeah, but who do you think would be the cast? Or who do you think would be the lead?
Oh, I had no idea. I haven't even considered it. Do you have a name you listed already?
Well, we kind of threw around like at first we were like Samantha Wynn, but then we were kind of thinking maybe somebody who's a little more known, like a Journey Smollett. Sorry.
Yeah, but does Journey have the fighting background?
Well, Birds of Prey, she did pretty good. She did a lot of that fighting. So
okay.
Yeah, see, but it's okay. You're where I'm at, where I'm like, it's not exactly where martial arts and shit like that. And I'm like kind of going,
right. But I mean, at the same time, she could still learn it. Like, it's not
true.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's not like
here's where you like start pointing you start putting the random dots together. And you're like, oh wait, maybe that's like, you remember when the Snyder Cut came out, she was like literally the only other random actor that was like vocal about it when she was like, oh, I can't wait to watch it or whatever. And then she started following Zach, and you were like, oh, everybody was like, oh, is she gonna be like, is she in the Snyder Cut because she's Black Canary? But it was like, well, no, obviously they probably were in talks. I mean, dude, it's not like like Jason Momoa was Aquaman in 2012 before he even got to be you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it could be a time frame that's like, okay, well, cool. She's she's a part of his film and we don't know it, but we also know that she started following him and then she was supportive about the Snyder Cut when nobody else was really talking about it except her. You know what I mean? Like, it's like little things like that where you go, oh, maybe.
Well, it's kind of I find it difficult to believe that he would cast someone as a lead in a female-centric film that that isn't already in what they call their circus. Just
what do you mean?
The Snyders?
Well, yeah, but name a big, like a lead actress that he's cast before, like that he's used several times.
I wouldn't say. I mean, I always go towards Mary Elizabeth Winstead. I mean, like
that's what I'm praying. I'm praying, girl.
But I don't think that's going to be the case.
She's white, so she's out, so.
I know.
Yeah, I know.
But I mean, the
she's already in the Netflix world.
Only person that I can think of is oh my gosh, why can't I think of her name? Jamie Chung.
Jamie Chung. Oh yeah, from Sucker Punch.
Yeah, but he's already worked with her.
Yeah.
See, I feel
like I'm saying though, I don't. Why would it? Has he specified it's someone he hasn't worked with before? That's what I'm saying.
He wouldn't be putting out this description if it was somebody he'd worked for. You know what I mean? Like you would already have cast them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like if he was going to use somebody he used before, he wouldn't need to be looking for somebody that fits the description.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I just wonder. I'm turning into Steven, and I'm like, but legally, don't they have to put out a casting call even if they've already decided?
Sure, absolutely, sure. Yeah, right. That sounds like something that dickhead would say.
Yeah.
Fucking asshole, man. I hate him.
Only the best of us can
Thanks for bringing him up. Like you literally just made me realize why I'm so glad he's not on tonight. I'm just talking shit. He's not even here.
I know, of course. No, he's been in the chat. He's been in the chat.
Throw a knife at Steven.
I know, but it's funny. Like he's not even saying that, but it's like I'm talking shit about him like he is saying it. You know what I mean? Like
well, yeah.
that is something he would say. You fucking asshole.
He's not saying it, but he is thinking it.
Yeah, I feel like he's like. But yeah, like Rob, who do you? I mean,
Rob's literally finding out right now.
Right?
So sorry, guys. I was just checking the Netflix thing. To answer your question earlier, before I forget, Carla Gugino was in a couple Snyder movies. She's
well,
one
right,
of
but
his
she's
go-tos.
white.
No, I'm not saying for this role, but to answer your question about like people
Yeah.
in the stable or like the go-tos.
Jim Malone.
And he's a lead. Fuck you.
So wait. What do we know about the actual description of this character? Like officially,
the description of the character is 20s to 30s.
Is this from like the grids? Like, where do we get this information from?
Yeah. Yes, it's from the.
Okay.
It's from a grid. Okay.
Okay.
Which is how I know that it'll be starting in 2022. But basically, the character is 20 to 30 years female, BIPOC or multiracial, athletic, martial arts and fighting skills are a plus.
Oh boy.
And it's got to be a lead. So it's like I feel like this has got to be somebody that's, well established. So,
and who has some fighting experience? That's difficult. That's difficult.
Right.
Yeah.
So
but it doesn't say like age range, right?
30,
20s to 30s.
Oh, okay, 20 and 30. So yeah,
Which
it's got to be a little young.
With some fighting experience.
Mm-hmm.
Just
martial
cast,
arts and fighting skills are a plus.
Just cast and this is for Netflix, of course, right? So I would just Jessica Henwick. There you go, done.
I mean, maybe, but she's white.
No, she's Asian.
She's Asian. What are you talking about? Jess Henwick. She's going to be in the Matrix, and she was in Iron Fist.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about. I'm thinking of Catherine, whatever her name is.
No. I'm thinking of the one who actually the real lead of Iron Fist. Who actually put in the
Well, clearly it's going to be Aquafina. So
right.
Yeah.
Well, but is she well known? Like I don't know her. I don't know who that is.
Well, I mean that's the thing. She's getting up there though. She's in the Matrix. She's in Matrix Resurrections.
I know, but like
I know.
Again, you gotta like have a well established lead actor. Like
she was the one of the co-leads of Love and Monsters too, with what's his face. She's in. Oh no, dude. She's in Knives Out too in a key role, so she's gonna be blowing up. This is the time to cast.
She's gonna be blowing up, but the thing is, they need a lead that's already blown up.
But she might be some of those things might be coming out before.
Well, no, I get
that. You know what? To be honest, just looking at what Snyder has done when it comes to casting. When it came to Justice League, looking at that, it's like, did anybody know who Cavill was? No.
Well, right, but there was a Ben Affleck.
Jason, the only Ben Affleck was really his only like well-established guy in that league.
But you got to remember there was a Ben Affleck there. There was still a big lead. Like
yeah. But that was like but still like when it came to everybody else, he was like, hey. I mean, even when it came to like when he had the little scene where he was going to establish a John Stewart Green Lantern, nobody knew. Nobody knew.
Okay, so to your point, he might use the surrounding cast as the big name draws, and then have his lead be the up and comer. So, like, it could be. Like,
look at his Watchmen cast. If you break it out,
yes.
These were all not superstars at the time.
There you go.
He pulled back Jackie Earle Haley out of nowhere. You know what I mean? So
like what? The kid from Bad News Bears.
And Patrick Wilson's not like a leading big box office guy, especially back then. He's a super awesome character guy, right? So you know what I mean. The whole cast was like that. So
suck his dick that she.
Whoa.
Damn.
Anyway,
Wow. Oh,
rent free.
Steven.
Garza.
Steven. Bro, I gotta go to bed in a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, dude.
Nightmare fuel. You're welcome.
God damn, dude.
Patrick,
like,
you've already seen Patrick Wilson's balls. Didn't he put him on like a movie? You've already seen it.
Did
I've
he already?
seen his ass. I mean,
He dropped Junk. I don't think he dropped Junk.
Yeah. I thought I could see balls.
Oh, Jesus. You talking about back sack?
I might have zoomed in. Yes, back sack.
Yeah.
Oh man.
God, we are so unattractive. Like men, just in general, we're just
men are disgusting.
Yeah. Our stuff is not.
The most interesting thing about balls is that they morph. They're like little animorphs.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Depending on the weather, yes.
That's it.
Yeah.
Depending on if you go into a pool.
Yeah, that too.
I was in the pool.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're
monsters.
It's cold.
Yeah, we definitely are monsters.
You know, whenever you wash clothes in the washer and dryer, and it's cold, it's on the cold
shrink.
setting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whatever fucking Costanza says, I love it. He's like, yeah, well, that's what happens.
Never forget that episode.
Elaine's reaction is like, it shrinks.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
What?
That was one of the funniest moments of that show. Was like she was just like, because they were trying to explain it to her, and it's so funny too because they had to explain it to her in like a PG-13-esque way for TV, and they nailed it. They nailed it because it's like in real life you would just go like, "Hey, balls, do that," but they had to like do that in a way, and the writing was so great.
Well, it's not even that. It like when the girl walks in,
too.
The fact that she walks, she's just like, oh yeah, sorry. Like her fucking like, dude. That I'm just like, oh, that fucking hurts me. And
every guy who watched that went, shit. I know exactly what.
Dude, like she literally looked down and then laughed. You know what I mean? Like, dude, like just knowing how George is, like, I was in the pool. I mean, talk about like literally a show about nothing. Like, dude, talk about. God damn, that's a good way for me to leave, you know.
Leave on shrunken balls. Yeah. All right, guys, I appreciate it, man.
Hey, Rob, if it comes out though, I better not see any exclusives from Screen Rant, okay? Because
I can't tell you what we've already scheduled for tomorrow. But,
dude, look at you, fucking still keeping it up like you got some exclusives.
Oh, he's already got the trailer.
He's already got Stephen Colbert.
We have a lot of content. Tomorrow's gonna be a big day, guys. I'm just saying. No. Truth be told, like that, I have no information on what you're hinting at. So
yeah. Well, Steven already doubts me,
his
so I don't
fingers
give a
and
shit.
toes.
You know? He wouldn't believe me. Even
I am aware of the schedule and what they are showing for sure, but I've not heard anything about that. So
because when I mentioned to Steven what I kind of heard, you know what his response was?
What?
Like the asshole he really was. This is what he said. According to who? Question mark.
Bro, my God.
I gotta be honest. So I do that to him because he comes to me sometimes. He's like, "Oh, yeah, I heard this." I'm like, "Yeah, from where?"
And then it was perfect because in the same chat, somebody corrected him and was like, "Whom?" I was like, "Yeah." Then, they started going in an argument, and so I was like, "Yeah." So I was like, "All right, you guys they started going off on a tangent of that shit," and I was like, "You just literally gonna." Skip over the fucking little sheet or not sheet, but description I just gave you guys. Fuck you. I'm not gonna talk to you guys anymore. So,
you never know.
You know. But anyways, it's been fun. I'm tired as fuck.
Yeah,
all right, man. Go to sleep.
Damn, it's pretty 12:30.
Oh, damn, it is late.
Yeah, but
hey, we got one more thing I want to ask Rob after you leave. It's just about the other news that we have.
Just so everybody knows, though, too, like. If Justin was really pissed off, I mean, I wasn't trying to piss him off, and like I had no hard feelings on my end. Like I still love him, you know. He could hate me all he wants. I was just saying Tenet was a shitty film.
He probably lost the energy in that connection.
You know,
I don't think he's really pissed off. I think that just fit his brand.
I know. Yeah, I know. I don't take it personally. I just think it's. I mean, I don't think Tenet's the quality of the American Revolution. So
he's gonna change the world.
I don't defend movies to the American freedom. I don't know. I love you, Justin. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, look at us. Look at us. Huh? Who would have thought? Not me.
Yeah.
When a Texan tells you you need to chill on the Merc.
Yeah. Right. I mean, Tenet's still a shitty movie, but I'm glad that I have the freedom to say that. You know what I mean? Because it's in my freedom.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wong with that. Nothing wrong.
All right, forefathers on July 4th or July 2nd, actually, 1776.
Oh no. Okay.
No, I'm joking. Justin, I
know.
Love you guys. You have a good night.
Good night, man.
All right, take it easy, man. Bye. All right, Rob. I wanted to ask because we didn't get to this subject yet. The whole Marvel, Disney, Ditko.
I have to get a beer. I will be back.
About today. I mean, oh shit! No, man is like, all right, I don't know anything about this. No, but we didn't get to the subject, sadly. But man, this just kind of came out today, and it's like, what the? I mean, it's crazy because reading through the article, it's like, all right, and even THR updated their article saying like, okay, they wouldn't lose. They would. It's not like they would lose Spider-Man and these various characters. They just wouldn't have. They wouldn't have it full rights, I guess you could say. So what are your thoughts about all this?
So I read up on all the details, but we do know there's a history of this before, right? Even the same lawyers involved, right? So this has happened with DC as well, and DC won. Look, my stance in all of this, and my side of the business, has always been pro-consumer, right? So for me, like, it's hard to side with the corporate, especially a company like Disney with their history of how they handle all things when it comes to creators. I mean, look at even like trying to pay off Jim Starlin. It's like, shut up, stop complaining about Thanos. Here's a little money. At the same time, we know like all you get for creating a character is like it was like $5,000 in tickets to the premiere, and sometimes they forget your name. It's like, come on, guys, you're making $1 billion movies. Make your creators rich. Back in the day, they did it right. You owned a piece. Like Rob Liefeld did it right. For all the crazy shit he says, he owns a piece. You know what I mean? Yeah. So he's always, no matter what happens, he's always right about Deadpool, even if he contradicts himself, because he gets a piece, right? So I do believe it's from a legal standpoint, legal corporate standpoint, these were work for hire contracts. The company owns them. That's how it was. And the heirs and the estates want some of that easy money now, but legally 99% of the time they're just too late. It's not going to happen. And that's how it shakes out in court. As much as I want it to go the other way, it would be nice if the creators and their families got a piece forever, a small percentage. Just like our
all
boy
I
Mark
want
Hamill,
is for Disney to have to make original IP. That's all I'm asking, Disney.
But
that's all
we're talking about. But we're talking about IP that's worth billions of dollars right here, and that's the bad part. It's like original IP, cool, we want that, but at the same time, we're talking about Spider-Man. We're talking about these characters that are worth billions now.
Yeah, honestly, they are just, it's a pure play to, well, first of all, as law would have it, you have to set your precedent, right? You got to protect your IP at all costs, no matter what, right? That's just, you have to do it as a lawyer. So everything else is irrelevant.
Rob is a part-time lawyer, in case you guys
I did study a bit of law, but it's boring. It's boring.
Wait, do you actually have your JD?
Yeah, no. I have a master's degree in economics. That's where I switched to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, fuck that law shit.
Yeah, fuck that law. I have a poli-sci degree I don't even fucking use. So
yeah, well, I finished economics. Now I'm like, I'm not working for a bank, and I started writing about movies. And now I actually do all the economics and marketing and programming shit I did in school. Funny enough,
so it actually worked out.
Yeah, in the end, 13 years later, I'm behind the scenes doing all the boring corporate stuff.
You should update your college now. Hey, I'm finally working in my field.
Yeah, they've asked me to come in actually to do things. I'm like, I don't even have time to eat 3 meals a day. What are you talking about? What were we talking about? Oh yeah. So it's tricky, but here's the thing: like, I like looking at it from the other layers. Like, the optics of this is just bad, right? Like, Marvel's already, even DC, but I would say more so Marvel Comics. Like, it's, if you have a name, why would you work for Marvel? You're not going to own your shit, right? Your pay on average, unless you're some superstar like Hickman, you're not going to get that much money. Why wouldn't you use that platform to go to Image where you own it? You know what I mean? And like, every property from a name is going to get bought up and sold right away by someone, right? For licensing and TV deals and this and that. So you don't need to go to Marvel. You don't own your characters. You never will. So like, Amanda, what you're saying is like, create new characters. Marvel doesn't want to. they got 20,000 registered IP already. And that's worth more than anything we could possibly create. And they don't want to create shit because that means new complicated deals, right? So everything's so controlled and limited and recycled. That's why in the future, like that's just going to dwindle, right? The value of that now is in licensing the movies, right? So why not create something new and awesome, like or different? Like look at The Boys and Amazon. That's exciting because it's different. Yeah, and get more of that. Even I don't know if you guys have seen it yet, but Why the Last Man is one great comic series.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh
so
my god!
I've seen it all. And
Girl, when people talk, people are like comic book movies, and I'm like, can we get Why the Last Man? Can we get Saga? That's what I want. I want Saga, and I want Why the Last Man. Why the Last Man? Why the Last Man?
I haven't checked it out yet. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I think the first 1 or 3 are out or something. I forget what they released, but a while ago I saw like mostly cut like the whole thing, and it's like I really dig it. So
I love
it. More of that. You know what I mean? That's these people that create these runs that are not this.
I just read the book.
But the point is the owners own a piece. You know what I mean? So like get that Kirkman money. You know? So it's creators not being rewarded for this. Like the Jim Starlin example with Thanos and all the cosmic stuff, it's insane.
And happening with Joel Schuster and with the whole Superman thing. Yeah.
I think the IP law should include a partial ownership no matter what. Like you always get those royalties forever, always. You know what I mean? So sorry, Amanda.
So no, the question. So wait. To go off of that, the question then becomes: does the manager of the estate get those royalties?
The estate does. The manager is fighting on their behalf, right? So I'm sure they get their cut, but the estate should have a percentage. It can be 0.1%. The point is they should get something, right?
Right.
Their name should always be tied to that character, and there should always be compensation. That character is going to be used forever. They should always own a piece of it. Or in the case these work for hire models, maybe they just work in a time limit, like copyright, like normal copyright. Again, Disney fucks with that too, right? Look at the Mickey Mouse thing. Like there's after a period of time, that should become public domain in copyright law, right? In terms of IP, if you work for how you create a character, there should be something to protect the creator if they were taken advantage of, or if something they created for $500 becomes a $6 billion asset.
Someone in
20
chat
years.
right now is like NFTs. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I know that's the whole thing now. It's like NFTs. I'm trying to understand that now.
It doesn't.
I have a lot of friends into it in a big way. It's a very weird thing.
Yeah, it's I go on TikTok.
It's an MLM. It's an MLM for men. Stay away.
An MLM.
It is.
Oh, watch out for
I don't know how else to tell you guys. Don't do it. But the that isn't that always the eternal question with art though? Is like once the art is published for the audience, who owns it?
Well, the second question here is how do you define art? Is the one piece they created that 1 year, or is it how it's reused and retranslated 20 years later for a different medium, and then again for another medium?
Yes.
So who owns that? I don't give a shit, but the person who created it should get a piece, right?
Yeah,
so,
always.
That's how I would look at it.
If the iterations would not exist without the original art form, like the first person to make the character, and then there's 20 movies made with that character, none of those movies would exist without that character.
Totally.
So, like,
creator should always get a piece.
Yeah, and doesn't. I mean, it's such a minor piece of the puzzle.
Even if
and like just like a little percentage, a small percentage, which is good for them because I mean, if a movie's gonna make, I mean, if you have like you have Spider-Man that's in like a $2 billion movie, it's like give a little piece to this over here.
Yeah, it's like reward the creativity. Always.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what's the incentive? What they're saying is it's better just recycle something you own fully versus giving creators something.
People to some people to know your name, Rob. It's the exposure, don't you know?
Yeah.
But how do you think this is going to end? Do you think it's just going to end with like a settlement, or what do you think?
Marvel's going to own their shit and it'll be done with it.
Yeah.
It's just right now. There's a reason it's extremely public right now. It's an optics game, right?
I don't think they're going to come to a settle. They won't have to pay, and there will be no settlement because the case will not progress.
Yeah. It's right now. It's a PR game to try to get to someone to pay someone something to shut up. Which is it's the Starlin factor. Same thing. He was going crazy, and then he shut up. He's like, "Oh, Marvel made it right." And then he got angry again, and he's like, so it's like, Marvel probably threw him like, $75K or $100K. It's like, dude, shut up. Like, actually, though. And then but who knows?
Money. That's what it is. Yeah, I know. I mean, that was like the big thing that was talked about today, but it just seems like it's just going to blow over pretty quickly. Probably.
Yeah, we'll forget about it in 2 weeks, I'm sure.
Yeah. Even tomorrow, everybody's going to talk
I was just going to say, or tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. we got Netflix thing, we got DC Fandom, and then
Disney
Plus.
Like, is anybody going to be talking about this next week? I'm like, I don't think so. Probably not. Yeah. It is very interesting, but man, yeah, it was just funny how like that came out. I was like, whoa, what is going on here? Marvel's suing for, and then, but all this and then this, that, and this. And it was just, it just seemed like it came out of left field. And then especially after the whole, Scarlett Johansson and, that whole thing. And it's just like, okay. I mean, that was a shit show. I mean, obviously. And then we found out that like, hey, we're rethinking our talent. It's like, yeah, you should have been doing that probably before you launched Disney Plus and you were thinking about all that stuff. I mean, that's the thing that we were talking about earlier is the streaming, especially with HBO Max, the Kylar thing. And then when that whole shit show even happened at the beginning where, you had Patty Jenkins, Gal Gadot, and it was just kind of like, how do they handle it? Well, here's $10 million, if you want that little extra, because we're going to simultaneously release it on here. But,
and guarantee a third film.
Yeah, I know. That was a weird thing, and I spoke about that with somebody too, and it was just like, where did that even come from? Like that was weird how all that kind of rolled out and how it kind of just like shut that down quick. They shut that down pretty damn quickly.
Yep.
Sure.
When it came to all that. And I think, partly it was, hey, I'll give you the third movie. And it's like,
plus the producer rights and guaranteed gross percentage and all that shit.
Yeah, all that stuff. And it was just like, but I'm like, at the same time, everybody's going like, yeah, but she's got like 2 other big movies that are coming out.
It was they had to, because they know, I mean, you're releasing it during the pandemic, so like, hey, we'll take this cost 5 years from now, whatever, you know what I mean, to give you the extra 80 million. But to your previous example, ScarJo was like, what the initial ask was like, I want $100 million. The person who created Black Widow probably got $5.
Yeah, no, see,
$100 million, $5. That's like winning like 5 lotteries or nothing for the people.
And
I'm
not trying. I won't even argue that she shouldn't get the $100 million. But if she gets $100 million, then the creator should get more than $5.
Well, the movie made what? It's less than 400 right now. So it's her getting 100 million is laughable. So, but
that is pretty.
I mean, I'm just saying a number. Any number. She was like, I want $50. Then like,
oh, I see.
Equitable
unless they somehow quantified like how much on Disney Plus, how many people came in to subscribe to watch it on there. I mean, but how do you determine that number? I mean, that's what I've always been wondering about this whole new structure when it comes to streaming. It's like, how do you determine, like, even they said Warner Brothers,
they're watching us through our smart TVs and they're hearing all the shit we say.
True that. But I mean, like they talked about that with the Denis, like, when it comes to him getting his second Dune, it's like, oh, it's not so much the box office, which makes sense. We're still in a pandemic, still things aren't back to normal, but they always talk about like how well it does on HBO Max. I'm like, okay, so what are we looking at here? What are you looking at? What exactly? I mean, I guess they have.
I don't think they know. That's why we
on.
don't know, because they don't fucking know. They don't
but
know.
I'm just wondering, do they have people that are just totally just 100% just crunching the numbers like crazy? Like, just, I don't know.
I don't know. It's weird because the streaming model is so different, because it's not like a box office is very limited run. Everyone focuses on the first weekend and the 4-week drop, and then it's out within 6-8 weeks, whatever. But the streaming thing, it almost doesn't matter now. Like, what matters is how many people are going to watch it over the next 10, 20 years and come back to it. But the also thing is, like, imagine all the resales in 10, 20 years. There's going to be more push for that. There's going to be additional versions, additional digital sales, additional licensing deals for other countries. Because remember, HBO Max is not everywhere. Even with their expansion in Europe, it's not in Canada. So they still have to do all these extra distribution deals.
Weird. It's not in Canada. Yeah.
It's insane. We have some shit version of HBO on Crave, which is some subversion streaming service for Bell. It's like, it's out of control.
It's not HBO, it's HOB.
Yeah, it's Hob. Yeah, we have a Hob Min, not HBO Max. It's pretty bad. Yeah. But also, it's like, again, like, I just got this package in one of these boxes of like Shawshank Redemption, which is one of the most successful like home video releases ever, right? Because it bombed theatrically, and the residuals are insane. The cast, it's released for the first time ever in digital and 4K, like 30 years later, right? So think of what Dune's worth from a licensing perspective 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, right? Like how every year and every 5 years, I get it Back to the Future thing. It's celebrating some anniversary, 30th, 35th, 40th, you know what I mean? Everything. And like that's that. So there's gonna be more of a push for that, especially in this market.
Netflix won more Emmys than any other company this year.
Netflix
and I
did?
think Netflix has won more Emmys than any other network or platform for the first time ever, with the streaming giant nabbing 44 awards total in 2021. I'm citing Variety.
Yeah, and how many new shows with premium short form new shows they launch? Like one a week, right? So
right. Well, and I'm not saying that there isn't a
scale,
a strategy. Yeah.
Like Showtime puts out 8 new shows, Netflix puts out 95,
right?
Or whatever it is. You know what I mean? So.
But I think like that's what people are talking about, like, oh, streaming is the future, and platform, like streaming platforms, which one, who's your favorite, blah blah blah, who's gonna get the audiences. But like, I don't, even though there are people, yes, Dave, people crunching the numbers 24/7, I don't think they know what that the numbers are supposed to mean to them. That's what I mean. Like, I don't think they
and not right now, they don't know.
Yeah,
no,
unless they have some special
out.
Quantum computer that's like predicting the future or some shit.
Yeah, they don't know because everything changes. Because 3 years from now, 2 of these services may merge, so it changes everything, right? So who knows?
And like what you were saying, Rob, too, is like, are they looking at the brand and like you said? I mean, you get something from Back to the Future like every fucking 5 years or 2.5 years.
Yeah, so that IP, even if they never make another Back to the Future movie, which they're hopefully not, right? Then it's still incredibly valuable to have in the stable.
That's why we all went to Netflix in the first place, because they had, back when it was like mailing DVDs.
Yeah.
True.
It was because they had the movies we wanted to watch.
And remember, the plan for Dune was not to be, all these movies were not meant to be on HBO Max. This year's an exception for obvious reasons, right? So the plan always for all these movies, and will be in the future, is like go theatrically, then you have a short window, then you put it in your streaming service. And just it's to rekindle these IP. And for every service and every corporate, WB and above that, AT&T in that case, the goals are different. For Disney, they're going to recycle IP because they need to feed the theme parks. So pre-pandemic, movie box office in theaters is 8% of the Disney business. Fucking 8%. 30% is theme parks.
It's crazy.
This shit are ads for licensing. Star Wars Episode 7 made $10 billion in licensing before it even came out. It made $1 billion in the box office. Who cares? It's a commercial for the re-releases and everything else after that.
Instead of theme parks, but
it's not just toys, it's licensing deals. You look at any movie, there's 8 major partners with Disney, right? It's going to be a car company, a battery company, some major, you know what I mean? Like, those are $100 million deals. Everything else is irrelevant. And then Toy Story 4 happened, not because Toy Story 3 wasn't meant to be the ending. It's because they have a huge Toy Story park they're building at Walt Disney World.
Hold on. So now you're making me think of this in an interest. So every new Disney IP, like, so Toy Story, for example, we'll take Toy Story. Toy Story will have 8 different deals. So it's like Toy Story is its own Super Bowl in terms of the revenue from partnerships, sponsorships that you're going to get for this.
Yeah, I'm saying box office is not the biggest part of the equation.
No.
Right?
No.
For that segment, the things we talk about and cover, it absolutely is, because those actors and those producers are paid for that segment. But there's another element to it, right? So, and it's different for every studio, which is different for every company they work for. WB doesn't do theme parks the same way Universal does. This Nintendo movie, there's a Nintendo park being built at Universal Land, right? It's not a coincidence. This is all part of a larger plan, guys. So, and the licensing deals and the re-licensing deals and all the merch. Yeah, for sure, merch. Wait till you buy all this fucking like Chris Pratt Mario shit at the theme park. It's going to be insane.
I want a Lego. I know they have Lego Land, but I want a Lego amusement park.
There is a Lego.
There is Lego Land. Yeah.
No. Lego Land is not an amusement park. Lego Land is like a little hands-on kids museum. I appreciate it. It's great. I know someone who manages them.
No. I know what you're talking about.
But I want roller coasters.
I thought they did have rides.
I think Legoland in Orlando does have roller coasters, no? It's like a mini theme park.
I'm pretty sure they do.
Stop. Pause.
Yeah. Look up the one in Florida.
No, but this goes back to the whole conversation when it comes to the Mario movie. It's like,
what the fuck they do?
See, why do they not, we all say like, hey, why can't they hire the voice actors? Well, They're not names. They got to hire names, and they hire names.
It's funny you say this. Yeah. I had this big conversation on stream yesterday. It's the same thing. And like, for me, it really bothers me they can't hire just amazing voice actors to voice these characters. Because like, imagine how much they're spending on that cast. It could be 100. Let's say it's 100 million. It's probably more. Because you go look at Shrek. Go back to the Shrek movie. Cameron Diaz, Eddie Murphy, 25 million a piece for like 3 days of work, right? Yeah. So this cast, let's say half the budget is these cast. Well, imagine you could save $100 million, let's just say, and just have actual voice actors do it. And I'm like, that's what I would want as a fan, and to celebrate voice actors and let the screen actors do their thing. But what are they buying, right? They're buying publicity, right? Forget the 6 days in the studio. They're the voice box. I mean, like, they're going to be promoting the film, and there's some calculation, I'm sure, where if they spend $100 million, they make an extra 220 box office or something.
Yeah.
And it's infuriating, but it's the truth. You know what I mean? So
business.
Yeah.
Business.
Money talks.
It's always funny to me because I remember growing up, being amazed. There was a time I was probably like 11 or 12 or something when I realized that I didn't know who the fuck Ariel was. I don't know who the fuck Ariel was. I just knew she was some chick who sang real good. And like a lot of the times in older animated stuff, if there were songs like in The Little Mermaid, you would have a voice actor for the speaking role and then a different actor to sing. That was not that uncommon. So I'm like, think about how many opportunities that created for people who would otherwise not be cast on a screen for one reason or another, the color of their skin, the shape of their body, whatever. But like, it is infuriating that that's not, there's something magical about that. There's something that makes you think like, I don't know who Ariel is. She's just Ariel. There's not Cameron Diaz as Ariel. Like, there's no fucking mental tie there, so I can just let Ariel be Ariel. You know what I mean?
It's true. It's annoying. I mean, this is a good example because Keegan-Michael Key's playing a character, right? And it's like, they of course, they cast him as one of the extra characters in Toy Story 4, and Keanu Reeves, like superstars, to associate with the brand, right? So it's a sad reality where it's all celebrity influencers.
Well, I mean,
it deserves every good thing in his life. To be clear,
it all started with Robin Williams, right? Like when it came to Aladdin, like that's kind of where it started. And I think I remember even reading where Robin Williams didn't want to even have his name attached to it because he was
pissed that they did that.
Yeah, he was like, no, just don't do that because that's gonna. But that's how you sell the movie. It's like, hey, guess what? Yeah.
They also screwed him over. He in his contract, or something like that. He explicitly said, "Don't use my voice for the toys," or something like this. And they did behind his back. And he was like, "I'm done." And he didn't. Yeah. So crazy.
God damn.
I ain't never had a friend like him.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes, nowadays it's like, you watch any animated movie. It's going to have somebody you recognize. Oh yeah.
Totally.
So Will Smith, Chris Pratt, they're going to be the lead now. And there's so many great voice actors out there. I mean, that's why everybody's just kind of like shitting on, not everybody, but a lot of people are shitting on the fact that what the Chris Pratt's going to do Mario? What the hell? And I'm sure he's going to work on something. It's going to be all right. But at the same time, I mean, a lot of people are looking at that voice cast going like Charlie Day, Luigi, interesting, I'm sure it's going to be okay. Donkey Kong, Seth Rogen. I mean, can you imagine I mean, it's going to turn into its own thing. Like we were talking about earlier, like, with all the different Kongs out there, it's like, oh yeah, we're going to have Danny McBride, and then we're going to have, Jay, what's his name? we're gonna have like his guys end up being there, not James Franco, obviously. But we're gonna have like some other people that are gonna be like that voice, that's gonna grow that universe. They're looking at like, hey, we're gonna spin this off, we're gonna do this, we're creating a Nintendo universe right now.
Yeah, for sure.
They totally are looking at it like that now.
This is a random question, but is there anyone who started in voice work who successfully transitioned into screen work?
Good question. There probably has been somebody.
Like maybe a handful?
I can't think of anybody off the bat, but I'm sure it's happened.
Werner Herzog.
Who?
What?
I don't know.
Did you just say
Yes, I said who. Yes, it's okay. You can grill me. Do you know who? Oh, geez, do you know who she was talking about?
Yeah,
Rob?
yeah, she's super famous. I think even in our boy Werner was in the
Werner Herzog. He's a filmmaker, documentary filmmaker, actor. He was a villain in. He's a crazy old looking German guy. Who is he the villain in?
Wasn't he just in Mandalorian? Or am I mixing up people?
Oh, he might have.
Okay, Werner. I'm gonna have to look him up.
He might have been.
It's gonna be one of those where I see him and I go, okay, I know who you're talking about.
Season 1 of Mandalorian, right? Werner Herzog's the dude wanting to get the baby.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I know. Now I know who you're talking about. Okay, didn't recognize the name. Sorry.
Well, also
Vodka.
because I say it Werner, but it's with a W. But also that's his name.
That's right. Yeah. When I typed it in, I was like, wait, nothing's coming up.
Werner Herzog. So I'm joking, but I know he's done voiceover work. I know his voice is very iconic.
Very much.
I don't think he started as a voice actor.
Very distinct voice.
Yes.
Oh, chat mentioned Seth MacFarlane started as a voice actor.
There you go.
True.
Also voicing his own stuff. No, did not start voicing his own stuff.
Yeah.
Started voicing for other people, then voiced his own stuff.
Well,
then transitioned to screen.
Well, he had like a early version of Family Guy. Well, it was basically just Peter and his dog. I remember watching like a whole thing where like he had like a little animated thing where it was just like essentially it was Peter and Brian at first.
Aww.
And then it just like it morphed into Family Guy.
Yeah.
You know, like you can go back, you could probably find it on
Gotta
YouTube or something like that where
somehow, you know.
Yeah. And the animation looks like shit, which that's always the case. Anytime you see like the early iterations of all the shit, it looks like shit. Even like the first episodes, you watch the first episodes of Family Guy, the animation is low quality. Same with The Simpsons, same with Beavis and Butthead, the fucking King of the Hill. It's always funny when you see like those early shows, you're like, oh wow, this is like season 1, 2, or 3. And then all of a sudden, like you knew when it got like the money to bump. Even South Park. South Park was literally construction paper.
Yeah,
they were all
South
construction paper.
Is my go-to. Man.
Oh my god! I mean, you watch those first couple of seasons. It is fucking construction paper, like flat down motion capture construction paper. I love that though. I loved how like. You know, when you actually see when the studio goes, okay, this is a hit, here's your money. You know, and like
so Rob,
the animation improves.
If you were gonna make your own animated comedy show, what, like in the vein of Simpsons, Family Guy, South Park, kind of okay, what would be your premise?
Good question. If I had to
winter in Canada, that's the setting.
Please.
It has to have a comedy vibe. Make me any genre with that, right? So I do something. You know what? You want a good example of a show like that? It's like think of Final Space season 1 in particular.
Ooh.
It's a very cool, structured, pre-planned thing, and it's like a very comedic, but it's like a cool, like sci-fi adventure. And that whole like style has been replicated for Star Trek Lower Decks. The same sort of same animation, and everything. So I kind of like that. But just do some kind of sci-fi shit. Do like Mech Warrior or BattleTech, but it's a comedy thing with cool like, animation or something.
Yeah.
Voltron style.
That's a good approach. Like take a world that already kind of exists, but like, hey, who is within like, you know, lower down and show that world, which I think they've tried to do many times, like, you know, especially in the superhero worlds, like we'll show the people have to clean up the mess. And they try to do that, you know, with DC with, I forgot what that show was called, which they try to make it like The Office, which I thought good idea. Oh, yeah. And it didn't catch. I forgot exactly what it was called.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. We're God damn.
Was Alan Tudyk in that or something?
Yeah, Alan Tudyk was like that main office dude. And Vanessa Hudgens was in it. And
that's right.
Powerless.
Live action.
What's it called?
Powerless.
Yes. I don't know why. I mean, like, I thought that was such a good idea, and it was good, but it just didn't. I don't know why it didn't catch on. I was like, you know, but that was like something
2017.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do I really do believe sometimes that like things are ahead of their time or just not at the right time. Like it's doesn't line up and it just doesn't work out for them. And I feel like that could have been one of those.
Yeah, and maybe they'll try again too. I mean, I know Marvel has their version of that, which they kind of tapped into a little bit with
Spider-Man.
With Spider-Man with
what's it called again? Damage Control.
Damage Control, which is kind of like that same premise. It was like cleaning up the superheroes.
They did use the script for that. It was supposed to be like a comedy for ABC, and they just said, nah, all that stuff.
But they did set the ground level. I mean, that's where kind of Vulture, came from.
Totally,
yeah. So I mean, it was they laid the foundation for it, but yeah, it sucks that they didn't. But yeah, who knows? Like, when's the proper time to do something like that? And I guess you have to execute it kind of perfect. I don't know, perfectly.
I feel like I would make an animated Nurse Jackie. That would be my basic.
But it's funny. It's a good question. I don't know how you guys came up with this, but like the adult animated TV is like the huge thing now. Like every streaming service is dying for it. It's just so. I mean,
man, do you remember the time before Adult Swim on Comedy Central, and then like Adult Swim happened, and it was like, revolutionary.
But dude, like I'm one of the ones that actually I still like South Park, and I watch it like season by season, the binge. Yes. But like I love Rick and Morty and Archer. Like they're just so good. So it's like the shows are just great. And Solar Opposites too from Justin as well. So if you haven't seen that in Hulu, it's awesome.
What's it called?
I haven't seen
Solar Opposites. You haven't seen
Solar Opposites.
Oh my God, guys! Everyone here, if you like Rick and Morty, put Solar Opposites #1 on your list. It is
Netflix.
No, it's on Hulu.
Oh, Hulu. Okay.
Which in Canada we get it through like Disney.
Middle ditch. I'm here. Done.
Okay.
Oh, it's incredible.
Gosh. People ask, is Solar Opposites a Rick and Morty spinoff? Oh.
It's that level of writing and creativity, and it's got sort of like, but it's mind bending because there's like a story, but there's a story within a story, which kind of becomes a thing. Just watch it.
The creators, Mike McMahon and Justin Roiland.
And McMahon went to go make Star Trek Lower Decks with the Final Space Crew, I think. So
they worked together on Rick and Morty.
Yeah, but then all these great shows.
Separate. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. All right.
It's so underrated. It's people don't under the radar, but it's incredible. Yeah, watch it.
Wow. See, learning something guys tonight.
This is why I asked these questions.
Exactly.
What would yours be, Dave? What would be your premise of your adult animated?
I've always wanted to like, my whole thing has always been like, have like a story that, okay, so say you have like Die Hard, okay, you have a story like Die Hard, John McClane. I always wanted to see what's the next day like. What's the next day? Like, what's the fucking next day? Like have stories about the hero that saved and just fucking put like life and limb into it. What's the next day like? Like what I want to know, like what is John McClane's next day? Like obviously he went to the hospital. And then what is everything after that? Because he's still got a wife and kids. Like what is the next what's the next week like?
Yeah,
it's
that's always been my idea. Like something like that.
I want to see this. I don't know why, but this made me want very badly a Speed continuation where Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock basically it becomes like a Crazy Stupid Love, but it's Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock. Like 25 years into the marriage, they're all fucking tired of each other. Their kids are assholes.
Yeah, you want to see what the continuation of the story is.
This was not a good idea to base this relationship on sex. Like, I want to see it. I want to see it.
Which, if you watch Speed 2, like she actually mentions, like, yeah, you shouldn't do that. Yeah. But we try to forget Speed 2.
We're like, no, weird. Fuck it. Yes, we can.
Speed 2 didn't happen.
But it had Willem Dafoe in it. Was he not the villain in that?
He was the villain, but he was great, but he also liked leeches. I don't know. It was very strange.
Oh, yeah, that's weird. But he brought back the guy from the car, drive the boat. Bystander.
It was, Jason Patrick was, decent, but, it's just kind of like, just didn't quite.
It didn't need a 2. It did not need a 2. That's the thing. That story was great.
Well, if it had a 2, it just needed to have Keanu again, but Keanu was like, You know.
You know what though? If that came out now, like 8-10 years ago, that would be competing with the Fast and Furious franchise. It'd be like Speed 8, and they're like racing rocket ships with bombs on them and stuff.
Yes!
But actually,
they would have beat them
joking.
literally jumping the orbit shark.
And The Rock would have joined in the 4th movie and tried to steal the franchise. You know? Yeah. 100%.
Man. Yeah, I know. See, there's so much. Yeah, there's so much out there. But yeah. My whole thing, was always like, what would be the next day of John McClane? You know, like what would that be like?
Very bruised, painful.
Yeah. I mean, he's obviously. I mean, you see him at the end, and it's like, and then he just hopped into a limo with his wife, and it's like, yeah, maybe you should go to the hospital. Yeah, you should get everything checked out, dude. You literally jumped off a building. You bungee jumped off the building with a fucking fire hose wrapped around your waist,
Kate.
barefoot with no shirt, and then you, your feet are cut up. You're just, I mean, you're so effed up. Yeah. So I've always wanted to know, like, what was the next day like, you know? So that would be kind of cool. Like, I mean, obviously they couldn't, like, you know.
Oh, they did make that, you silly. It's called The Incredibles.
Well, yeah, The Incredibles was like a take on that. Yeah. Not totally, but yeah.
I like the idea. I love the idea of seeing like superhuman type characters, even if they are human themselves. But I like the idea of seeing them in normal ass context. Like, I don't just want to see the next day. I want to see him like in the kindergarten pickup line. I want to see him like deciding which bag of cheese to buy at the grocery store. Like that. Because how does that person, this remarkable human, make their decision differently than us normal ass folk?
I think someone in his chat said the same thing I was thinking. I think one of the best examples is like the first part of Hancock, where he's just like a regular failed dude, but he's also potentially a superpowered being. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, exactly. That's what the appeal of Hancock was like, totally. Oh yeah, he's just some bum who drinks a lot, and then
it went off the rails in the third act.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know. See, that's the bad part. Why does the third act always get so fucked with? It's like, oh, we have to.
You either nail it or you lose it.
And that's the thing. But it's like you set up all this, and then all of a sudden it's like you take it to like, oh, the third act has to be this big, huge fight.
Goofy comic book thing,
and it's like, no,
just like most relationships don't end in committed, healthy, you know. Like,
Jesus, man, that bring it down.
I'm just saying,
wow.
Like, as a creator, you cannot expect that you're gonna nail it every time. That's not. So.
Yeah, you can't, because, you know, you got studio execs who think, you know, hey, we should do it like this, when you have the actual people who are making this stuff go, no, you should do it like this. And sadly, studios are, I don't know if they're batting average.
What happened with Hancock specifically?
Yeah. Huh?
Do we know that there was studio involvement with Hancock?
Yes.
Third act?
I am pretty sure, like, I don't know if we can verify that, but I mean, that third act, it gets to that point where it's like, oh, we're gonna have this grand fight where it's like they're throwing literally like cars at each other, and it's kind of like, oh, that just kind of took away from. Yeah, I mean, it literally gets. I mean, it's an interesting twist, and you know, what's kind of funny about that is like literally I saw on my timeline today on Twitter. Was like somebody said Old Guard is literally a prequel to Hancock for Scarlett Johansson. Not Scarlett Johansson, Charlize Theron.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that's kind of funny, because that could be true, I guess, you know, but yeah, I don't know if that's actually the case, but it's just, I don't know, it just feels like it, because it just took a turn in tone, I guess you could say. But then at the same time, Jason Bateman's character was trying to build up him to be like this superhero. I don't know. It just kind of turned into, I don't know if you guys remember that, my ex, what is it called? My ex-girlfriend is a superhero or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, with Uma Thurman and...
wow.
James Madsen? No.
Hey, that
who the guy
scratched an itch in my head.
But it's just kind of turned into like, oh, it was, I don't know. Yeah, it just fell apart in the third act. You don't always nail the landing, you know.
You do not always stick the landing at all.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, that's
who
writing 101.
But who has? if Hancock is an example of shitting all over the landing.
Well, I mean, if you want to look at, I mean, that's the thing is like sometimes these stories need longer to flesh out. Like you look at Invincible. I mean, you watch that, you know, you watch that last episode. That talk about sticking the landing and just going holy. The whole time you're watching, you're going, what is this? This is insane.
Those last few episodes of that were just wild. Yeah. I loved it.
So, I mean, I don't know if it just needs, sometimes these stories, especially if you're going like, you know, it just needs a little bit more time to like flesh out. I don't know. It's just because when I remember when everybody was raving about Invincible and I'm just kind of going, all right. I keep hearing it. And then finally, when it was that week where it was like the season finale, I went, all right, I'm going to binge and let me see what's going on. And when I watched the first episode, I'm like, all right, this is pretty run by the numbers. I get it, you know? And then all of a sudden you get to that last scene and you go, oh, that's what this is about. Holy shit. You just go, you set me up.
Your ammo.
You put all this fucking cliche shit. And then all of a sudden you fucking threw me a curveball. You threw me a goddamn curveball that I fucking swung at and just whipped at right at the end. And I was like, okay, now I see where this series is going. And then everything else was great. Is that Steven? There he is. I see you, Steven.
This one just woke up. You say hi.
But I saw Steven. Steven just showed up behind you. Yeah.
Did you come down here to sleep on my lap?
Oh.
Okay. Hey, Shep, who's your favorite Transformer? He might actually just fall asleep on my lap now. Bumblebee. Okay.
Oh, good call.
Of course. Bumblebee's great. You know.
Why? What's special about Bumblebee?
He can't talk right. He talks cool.
Oh, he's already out again.
Yeah, he's already out again.
And we're out. His arms are limp. Oh, he's dead. I mean, he's not dead, but you know, Steven.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I'll be back. I'm gonna go.
Well, you know what? I think this might be a good way to wrap it up. To be honest,
oh, okay.
I'm going like 3.5 hours with this the stream right here. I'm sure Rob needs to get back to it too, like back to reality.
Past 2 a.m.
And yeah, I know it's late for you. And you know what?
Yeah, your kids.
Everybody.
Rob.
Yeah,
actually,
you're waving his hand. But you know, thank you to everybody, and thank you to Steven for being in the chat.
Yes, Steven's arm. As you're welcome.
There's Steven's arm right there.
Hey, Steve.
Hey, Steve. But you know, thank you to Garza, thank you to Justin, thank you to you know, was that Hall? Who else showed up? Yeah, anybody else showed up? I'm vodka is running through me. But thank you.
Oh, who's ACS?
ACS, that's right. Anthony. Sorry, Anthony. Also for joining tonight.
Scariest looking, nicest laugh you've ever seen.
Oh, I know, dude. I love his laugh. He's got the
my
greatest
favorite.
laugh. So great. And that guy's like 6 foot, like 7.5.
Wow.
Yeah, he's huge. Yeah, he's a big guy. But anyways, guys, go ahead and plug yourselves. Amanda.
Hi, my name's Amanda, and you can find me on Twitter there. But also, I would love it if you would learn more about the exciting world of competitive college speech by watching a few tournaments this year. Hit me up. That's it.
I love it.
I'll ask you on the side what all that means. Hey everybody, good to be here. Thanks for bringing me on, man. Just for
no problem, man.
It was fun. I love chatting with you guys. I've been out of touch for a while now, so
it looks like you've been busy a little.
Yeah,
I'm still.
And you got a haircut too, which is.
Oh yeah, I should have brought me on with my hair. I
know your hair. Yeah, I remember. I saw your pictures, and you were like,
"Did you lose a bet?"
Yeah.
No. I just like, you know, and like there's a pandemic. When that ends, so does my hair growth. And now I lost that battle in the end. So I had to travel to the office. I didn't want to go in there looking like a monster. So, you know, I did get civilized. I had some travel the last couple of weeks, and I'm doing a lot more video stuff. So people are looking at me like, huh? And a lot of like partnership stuff. And I can't look like, you know, like Tarzan. So Canadian Tarzan up here. I am Rob_Keys. That's KEYES on Twitter. I help run ScreenRant.com. And sometimes I stream late at night on twitch.tv/failcube.
There you go. All right, guys. Well, like I said, appreciate everybody who joined tonight. Appreciate the chat. Make sure you smash that like, thumbs up before you leave. Subscribe to the channel if you want to join. Hit that join button. The Patreon's down there. Film Junkie Closet, all of that stuff. And another great vodka stream as per usual. And we will talk to you guys later. See ya.